Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for streaming me. I was just gonna use Disney Plus.
Yeah, no, I've got my my Blu-ray rip that I use to source clips from for my various reviews that I've done. And I used a clip of Civil War in my Black Panther review. I use some more. By the way, we're live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Mehvies.
And one of the best MCU movies out there.
We're watching a film that has no consequences and shouldn't exist.
Except for the fact that it does have consequences.
No. So anyways.
You only say that because of that bootleg copy you got from your friend.
You know what? That might be true. So, I as you may have noticed, between both the thumbnail and the poster, technically posters, I've kind of gone a little bit nuts today.
Hold on, let me check.
You can
I need to see this.
Feel free to check out everything that I've done, and while we're waiting for a handful of people to filter in.
Oh my god! Why is Wolverine there?
Because
Don Cheadle's already in there.
Yeah, Don Cheadle's already in there. I just took his helmet off.
Also, J.K. Simmons is in there.
Yeah. See, he heard that Spider-Man was on Team Iron Man, therefore he immediately joined Team Cap.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
by the way, you would not believe how much. So, Bender was actually making a comment about how much more color there is in the original trailer for Captain America Civil War than there is in the original movie. Look at this. This poster looks like it was directed by Zack Snyder. Like, look at the contrast. Look at the color here. Or look at how everything fucking pops, even before I made all my stupid edits to it. Like this, there is so much texture here that is not present in the final film.
Yeah.
Why is Ned on Team Iron Man?
Because Peter was there.
Oh.
Peter is on Team Iron Man, ergo Ned came with him. And Wolverine just Wolverine wound up in the wrong timeline.
Yeah.
And I had to figure out a way to hide Jonah's feet, which is why he's riding on Falcon's back. War Machine was easy because he's already there. I just had to paste the Cheadle face onto him. See if you can find the other images that I've added to this.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Aside from the Cheadle, Wolverine, King Jonah, and
I had to redraw Hawkeye's bow because it blends into the background so much.
And Ant-Man is on Captain America's shield, but that was probably on the poster.
Yeah, that was already in the movie and the poster.
Okay,
I do remember
what else is in there.
I do remember the marketing for this movie being craven.
I don't remember.
Well, it's kind of.
Well, see, there's somebody. Yeah, there's.
Hey, guys, Spider-Man's here.
But there's somebody else. There's a couple of things here. Well, obviously, there's a bunch of stuff here that isn't in the original poster. But I figured it was kind of unfair to have a small guy on Cap's team and not have a small guy over on Iron Man. So I gave Iron Man a small guy of his own.
Where is he?
Frankly, I think putting him where I did may be unfortunate, as he is near a natural enemy of his. But I think that despite what people think, Black Panther is able to work past his racism and work with this character.
Oh my god!
Wait,
who are we talking about?
Dude, you can't be racist. White people.
Who's somebody?
Is there?
Who might be somebody who is perhaps a naturally subjugated by a cat?
Oh my god, please stop.
Oh god, see Radigan right there below Chadwick's feet.
I put
Why?
Oh, because I have that image and I figured I'd throw it in here. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started now in 3, 2, 1.
So this is the fourth film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to feature a pre-Marvel Studios logo cold open scene. First being Iron Man 3, second was Guardians of the Galaxy, and third was Ant-Man.
This
1991.
is also
In-
the first. This was also the first Captain America movie to make $1 billion. After the last two,
I've always thought that was kind of unfortunate, considering
Yes.
how much better of a movie Winter Soldier is.
Yes.
And the first strike is Alex.
Hey, look, it's
Now,
the magic book.
here's something kind of funny.
Go on.
After how good Batman v Superman was, I thought that this was
That's
going to be
debatable.
the same kind of thing. And like I was proved wrong in
By
my
that bootleg
in my
movie.
view of Batman v Superman, because I thought that was a stupid idea, is never going to work, or never going to be able to pull it off the way they'd need to, yada yada, like all that. I thought, and then I watched the movie and I was pleasantly surprised, and I thought, okay, you know what, I'm optimistic. I'm gonna give Civil War a chance, and then
And
it
you got a
starts off with a
bootleg copy
massive
of that.
fucking retcon.
Yeah,
Not really a
like
retcon,
this-
it was just kind of an addition to.
Well, it's a
Yeah,
it's a
more of an
retcon,
addition,
because if
yeah.
this was in
no,
if this
No, it's
existed
not
back
really
in Winter
yeah, retcon
Soldier,
is something like changing something that already existed. This is
right?
like
If
adding
this
something that
existed,
already
but if this
That's
existed back
like
in
not a
Winter
retcon.
Soldier, it
Let
should have been
Alex
there.
finish.
Alex, this just added. It didn't.
Yeah, just
retcon
like, you know what,
because we
Alex,
cut
kind of-
away
No.
before Bucky.
Oh, so this is
he was fully.
this is the traditional version of a retcon. It's retroactive continuity. It's creating a new scene for the sake of creating something different. And well,
Yeah, but
you
we
know,
never saw how. We never
Well,
saw
they-
how they reset Bucky and Winter
It was the
Soldier.
machine.
If we did,
it was the
No.
machine. They put him in the
Well, as
machine,
it-
and that's what reset him.
no,
That's
the machine erased his memories. But how do
Right.
how do they
with
get
the machine.
him back to being
okay.
Like, that's
well,
all-
Here's the
that's
thing
all you
I
need.
wanna
machine
Yeah,
erases
Bender,
memory.
what you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I do agree that this is a slight retcon, but it's a retcon
Bucky
that
not
is
wearing
built.
the mask, by the way, even though
It
at this
is
point in
built-
time, the
yeah.
Winter Soldier was always wearing both the glasses and the mask.
I know, but it is built that okay, that it is it's a newly built retcon
Say
that
goodbye to
exists.
the best. Say goodbye to the
It's-
best MCU logo. To
I-
exist.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a newly
We will
built
never be seeing this
retcon
again.
that exists to create a reason for why Tony Stark and Bucky are not going to be on the best footing. And I do kind of agree with Alex. That is something that is annoying because it was never established by Hydra that they had Bucky kill the Stark. Like they had him do
Yeah.
a lot of bad
So that's-
shit.
yeah,
but
that's another-
murdering the Stark was
Yeah,
That's
not
another
like,
thing
one
I
of
was
them.
going to bring up. So if this happened, it would have been in the files that Natasha released, which means that Tony just didn't bother looking into it between
By
And
the way,
plus,
the
I mean, I don't think
symbol on
Tony's
those-
character really
2016.
came into play until.
By the way,
like,
those symbols on
now.
the curtains that Captain America is nearby, that is the symbol of the Boy Scouts.
Oh yeah.
Neat. I mean, I guess thinking about it, now, I don't think
It's a
Tony's
neat
parents really didn't
subtle
come into
little
focus
symbolism.
And
until
of
this
course, you
movie.
have Elizabeth Olsen back as Scarlet Witch, who kind of is toning down her accent.
Yeah,
for
I was
this.
gonna say
Yeah.
the Scarlet Witch
She's less
accent is
Russian
kind of
now.
falling away with every movie that comes in.
Hello, Mr. Mackey, who is
Hi,
unfortunately
Falcon.
making his credit at every so often. Like he tries to say that he's above of making boring.
One of the
boring
things that
films.
I appreciate how he talks about the way Marvel handles
then
their
he's-
Oh,
their
dude.
then
stuff,
he
but
still
then
willfully stars in it.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, some of the
Up here.
some of
Because
the
he's
yeah,
the
some of the
star
stuff he
now.
says is stupid, but some of the
No,
stuff
yeah.
that he says is also quite good. Like how like he doesn't like how the movies are being made, but at the end of the day, he's still getting paid. So it's difficult to it's difficult to turn down what you get for it, but at the same time, like yeah.
And also,
yeah.
too, Cap has a new suit, which is just a colored, or I'm sorry, a recolored version of his
The
Winter
Age of Ultron
Soldier.
suit.
Yeah,
No,
of
no, it's the Age of
The
Ultron
AOU.
suit.
The AOU Winter Soldier suit, yeah. Because those
Yeah.
two
The thing
suits are
is,
very, very
he
similar.
decided- And the thing is that he also decided to forego the magnet. It's in favor of just doing the strap thing.
Yeah,
which I guess
that's...
is based off the
Yeah.
fact that
Okay,
yeah,
so
I'm
hang on, I have to bring something up here. In the comic, the straps on the arm versus the
Hey.
magnet thing was explained because Stark built him the magnet retrieval device, but it threw
Yeah.
off the balance, so he went back to the straps. This doesn't explain that at all. He just goes back to the straps for no fucking reason.
Yep,
And Guy Bob.
and dead. He's dead.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
people, and in like 6
And he
years,
was in
people will
World War
complain
II.
about
Yeah,
John
that guy's
Walker doing
dead.
exactly the kind of things that Captain America does in most of his appearances as Steve.
That was badass.
Hey, your math was
Those guys
off
are
there.
dead. That guy's fucking dead.
That is Marvel.
The one thing I
movies. They
will
don't care
say-
about life.
So one thing I will say that I still get
Agree.
used to is the shaky cam choreography that the Russos implore for this movie. It was noticeable in Winter Soldier, but it feels
Yeah.
like here they heavily doubled down on the shaky cam. For
Yeah,
like
I
Winter
hate
Soldier was like
the
a tape.
shake cam stuff. The thing is,
That and the
in Winter
quick
Soldier, they were kind of trying to work around MPAA stuff. That guy's fucking dead. That guy's...
This is Marvel movies. They don't care about.
Oh, they don't care.
morality.
They're not going to care about it until Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when all of a sudden it's a big deal when Captain America kills people, even though
and I like
Steve
this
Rogers
scene,
served
too.
it. That guy's
Yep.
dead.
And we're not going to talk about how Steve is. Oh, he's concussed. How
guy's
Steve
dead.
is able to breathe
Keep
in
in
the
mind,
toxin.
people will complain when
Super Soldier shit.
Superman and well,
Superman
keep in
snapped
mind when-
Zod's neck, and
Oh,
people
I love
complained
this
about
part.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or when Batman,
Those
ends
guys
up
are fucking
breaking his
dead.
no-kill rule. Well, even outside of the comics, they'll say like, "Oh,
I'm going to quote Pirates of the
Say, like,
Caribbean
oh,
here.
that-
The no-kill rule has always been more of a guideline than a strict rule. Oh,
it
yeah.
really
Yeah.
has."
Oh, yeah.
And what
Cross...
also-
Both
too-
Batman and Superman are willing to make exceptions.
So Rumlow...
Yes.
Yeah, Rumlow is now...
Crossbones.
Yeah. Is now
Yes,
Crossbones.
all
and
of a sudden.
Oh, and
Rock
There's
Bottom
the
by
move
Black
again.
Widow there.
keep in
Yep.
mind,
And oh,
in the CinemaSins video for this movie, Jeremy keeps making a lot of wrong criticisms about it.
I remember watching that.
basically,
and-
Cinnamon Tin
Yeah,
movie.
so
And it's like-
it's not
Ooh.
difficult to make valid criticisms about this movie, but CinemaSins completely fucks up all the time.
yeah,
Okay,
oh,
yep,
oh.
see, there we go.
Look at
Oh,
that.
hi.
Look at that. Yeah.
Oh, Crossbow.
So why should
I know
we-
nothing about this guy.
And
How about you?
Oh, yeah.
okay, he was in the last movie. He
I
was.
know he's
Captain
in the last one. I'm
Yeah,
talking
that
about like
was-
comic book.
That's Frank
Crossbow, not
Grillo.
Movie Crossbow.
Yes,
Yeah,
Frank
Grillo,
Grillo.
whom Alex wanted as Punisher for the longest time, but
I
we're not
fucking
gonna
love
get him
Frank
making
Grillo.
Oh!
He's an
one
amazing
line-
actor.
We're not going to
Yeah.
get
He's a
him
great
making
action
really
star.
But he's
silly
wasted.
one-liner.
Uh-huh.
But unfortunately, he's wasted in this movie because he's only
Well,
like he's
Puerto
he's
Rico
cape-
here is or would have been dead if not for the
Oh.
Super Soldier Serum.
he's essentially
He's in
opening
America's
caper
Funniest Home Videos. Why was that sequence CGI?
to prove a point.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm still trying to remember. Does Crossbow do anything in the comics? What did he do exactly?
Crossbones is kind of an infamous supervillain in the comics. He's pretty prolific, and the fact that he only appeared in 2... Oh yeah, look at that. They dubbed over that fucking not voice.
Yeah, that
And-
was
and
something
thought we weren't
Bob
gonna
Vitz
notice.
pointed out. That was something Bob Vitz pointed out in his
Yeah.
video criticizing CinemaSins'
Yeah.
video.
Missed
Okay,
sins
the
is what
fight
you call it. Like it's supposed to be everything wrong with, and he missed
How
something that
come-
was really easy to notice.
Okay, so here's the thing I'm curious about. Oh, here we go. How come Cap and
That hurts.
Falcon are the only ones in
Oh,
gear?
shit.
I
Hi,
understand.
Shield.
Black Widow's got her stuff on underneath the overcoat, but, like, Scarlet Witch just doesn't have her super suit on at all.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
Well, don't
And I
forget that
understand-
Elizabeth Olsen doesn't like wearing that suit because of how much cleavage it shows.
I understand Black Widow, you know, kind of having the thing on, because she stands out a mile away. Scarlet Witch's suit is, like, basically normal clothing.
yeah.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
And
Like,
What is
and
this, a
the
Bourne
shaky
movie?
cam. Oh my, yes, the shaky cam is really bad.
Paul
And that
Green-
editing.
Paul Greengrass called. Please don't let him do this either.
Ow.
But keep in mind, at the very
Okay.
least, the shaky cam isn't like a Michael Bay movie.
No,
No,
yeah.
but
There's a move.
You can at least
editing
There's-
know what's
is not
going on.
helping.
Uh,
We are getting one takes, but it's not. It's chaotic one takes. It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
they're holding the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
at least I can
I'm
understand
gonna-
what's going on, like, Transformers.
That is,
Or just
dude.
shoot
You
him in the leg,
realize that those things aren't
haze him.
aren't
Oh dear. Ooh.
There you
okay, but that's soft sand. It wouldn't have caused a.
Don't take the risk.
That's not
So
how
Jeremy
that fucking
Smith
works.
says
Okay.
like, oh, why isn't anybody going to help Cap against Crossbones? Meanwhile, earlier he said, oh, like Crossbones is going to win a boxing competition against Cap.
go.
Now-
Oh,
I mean, have you seen the
Yeah.
shit Captain
oh
take?
my gosh. Okay, yeah, this editing. Oh my god.
I despise this.
Yeah, this editing is all over the goddamn. It can't stay still.
No.
Okay, Milanesque.
Give me a
I tried
big-
that trick once.
Like, I'm a big fan of having a big wide shot for action scenes, because then, like, and the camera follows. Yeah, so we
And
got
Frank
Frank
fired
Grillo
up his
on set
helmet.
for Frank Grillo on set for one day. Hey, with this makeup on, let's make sure that we get one shot. Yeah, okay. Yeah, everybody who gave Batman shit for freezing up at Martha does not get to say anything about this.
No, yeah.
I
they're
mean, to
both
be
bad,
fair,
in
it's
my
been
opinion.
established Cap's been looking for Lucky.
And-
Wanda
So,
decided to
Okay, yeah.
throw him
Okay,
somewhere or close to
Oh.
buildings instead
Yeah.
of somewhere or not close. To
Yeah.
buildings. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
this is
Wanda
not
had
a
so much space.
this is one of those things that I can't say is a character mistake. This is a writing problem.
Yes, no, because
She's
again,
been with the team for 2 years by this point. She can
and Cap would have.
no. Actually, it's only been in less than a year.
You sure?
Less
It's
than
still
a
a newbie.
year, but
Okay.
Cap has run her through combat drills to
Yeah.
handle this kind of thing. Oh, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
transition.
Now, here's
no,
here's a scene that leads to absolutely nothing.
well, it leads
except
to,
for Ryan Gosling stealing shit later on.
and it also gets to show, and Disney gets to show off their improving
Yeah.
de-aging technology
Yeah,
that was
this is-
still in its infancy.
Yeah, Disney. This is right after, so this is the same year Rogue One came out. This is when Disney started shoehorning the de-aging tech into every single goddamn movie that they ever
we
fucking
gotta
made.
show up our tech. so we
Which,
can
okay,
at
look,
least-
look, so
At least one
judging-
scene has it in it. They developed
So,
it for
okay,
Tron
judge-
Legacy, and it has to be in everything.
So just judging it on from here, when his face isn't close, it looks fine. I can believe that looks like a young Robert Downey Jr. But
Well, that's
when
the thing. It does look like a young Robert Downey Jr., but this is the best it's ever looked aside from Rogue One.
Yeah.
Because then,
Except
like,
with
we can...
Tarkin.
Because if we
Tarkin
look
was
at...
weak.
So, I think the three films that looks the best in are this, Rogue One, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Because once you get into, like, The Last Jedi, it starts looking ropey to non-existent. Once you get into, the other... Actually, you know what? Endgame did it alright, because it was more subtle in Endgame.
Hi, Academy Award winner RDJ. Congrats, by the way. Well deserved. Well deserved.
A real life Iron Man.
Yeah. So I had thoughts in my head that this technology was going to play into the finale of this movie in some way.
Which would have worked when you think about
Well,
it.
it does.
Yeah.
It does end up playing into how Tony does.
No, the
try
technology. The technology, not the Yeah, the holodeck technology I would have thought would have worked in it. See, why would you build like a replica instead of just using a real piano?
And I do like that Tony right now, after retiring from the Avengers, is trying to make the world a better place by, doing what people bitch about Bruce Wayne not doing, using his funds to better the state, the city.
I'm looking over in that corner, by the way, and I don't see Ryan Gosling. Spider-Man Far From Home,
either.
You lied to us.
No, it's almost like he was inserted into stock footage.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tony is using his wealth to try and help people, and that's the purpose of this.
Oh
yeah, no. Oh boy.
Interesting thing. Tony reading off of a teleprompter. I have a feeling that this thing. So this exists because Gwyneth Paltrow wasn't signed on to be in this film at this point in time.
Well,
she hadn't renewed her contract.
No, we get the meta reason, but the in-universe reason is mostly just because
she's on
Tony
a break.
and Pep's.
Well, yeah, but that's a throwaway line, though.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dean from
Yeah,
Community.
but it kind of makes sense given the fact that their relationship is all up till.
No, rewatching the Marvel Cinematic movies, I found that a lot of actors from Community within this movie, within these movies.
I can understand.
That year, we also ended up losing Gary Shandling.
Yeah. Now I can understand. It does kind of flow out. Oh yeah, and now we're about to get into some of the worst casting choices I've ever seen because one hand of Marvel isn't talking to the other hand of Marvel. Hello.
Well, no, we're about to get a stupid ass scene that makes no sense to kick this off.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, let's make Tony Stark's life feel bad.
That causes Tony to further side with the idea of the Sokovia Accords being a good thing.
Yeah.
We need to give Tony a good moral reason.
It's not like this scene.
Yeah, this is Alfre Woodard. She plays a completely different character in Luke Cage, and was cast in this movie after having been in Luke Cage.
Okay, Tony, why did you grab her arm like that? She wasn't going to pull out
he assumed that she was. Yeah, because he assumed she was likely going to do something to him.
Yeah, he thought.
To be fair,
he thought she was going to try and kill him, and that's.
He said occupational hazard, as in it comes with the territory.
No, I kind of understand.
I saw this random lady show up out of nowhere.
Let's also not forget the fact that Stark Industries is also responsible for quite a ton of death. That's partially due to Mr. Bridges.
Oh, in Sokovia. Oh, in Sokovia.
Yeah.
Where
and Iron Man created. And in this version, Iron Man created Ultron. So
for those who forgot.
Let's put a pause on this. Okay, lady, I get it. You're upset that your son is dead. It was very sad. But here's the thing: there were a lot of people's children's and other people who died. So I don't want to say that you have a right to say you're. I don't want to say you don't have a right to be angry.
Wakanda mentioned.
Yeah. Second time Wakanda was
mentioned.
And here is a problem. This is why you don't change things when you go from one medium to another. Wakanda being landlocked creates plot holes. Because now apparently there's just a fucking underground waterway that travels all the way underneath mainland Africa to allow fucking fake Atlanteans to get into Wakanda later on.
Also,
that's a
if
problem
really
introduced in the sequel.
Well, wait, here we go.
No,
that's
I got
not
you.
a problem that was in
this
this movie or the first Black Panther.
Well,
that has nothing to do with
continuity nightmare in a later film.
Originally Wakanda was a coastal country, not a landlocked nation.
All right,
I'm
but
just saying.
Here's the thing. Look. All right, so here, unlike Steve is addressing that it is his fault, and he's going over that. Look, I should have done better, and I'm sorry that you're blaming yourself.
And the thing is that this also, clearly, this scene and the previous scene clearly establish how these two characters are going to, what stance these two characters are going to take in this whole situation.
But here's a problem. Yeah, here's a problem. So
we could have used you in the previous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, where the fuck were you last time? In fact, where were the other Avengers as well? No, where's Thor?
So I'm gonna come back.
Thor is busy trying to figure out what was going on in his visions because he saw Asgard getting,
Oh yeah, no, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying, this is
Let's also not forget the fact that they ended up.
Hi, Thunderbolt Ross. You're the cause of all the problems in the MCU, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah,
you're a fucking idiot. How did you fail your way up this ladder?
Yeah, it was a huge. The dude had so many health conditions that would have otherwise said, let's just discharge this man and call it a day. But no, they decided to promote him to the point where
I was trying to
he has all the power, and I'm like,
hang on,
no,
Kevin, Bender, can you say what you were gonna say, Bender?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to that Wanda and Steve scene because I like what they were doing, but then I hate how they just dropped it. So I'm gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
They may never. I don't know.
Secretary of State Thunderbolt Ross, the man who created both the Incredible Hulk and the Abomination, and now, if it wasn't for the fact that people who are in our military right now are just as incompetent as him, I'd believe that was military and government were just as incompetent as him.
I'd clearly showing his bias.
Hold on. All right, hold the fuck on. You idiots and /Shield.
Okay, so that's your fault.
You were gonna nuke it. So no, that doesn't count.
You're showing us footage of the Hulk doing this. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's Hydra's fault.
You idiots created those.
Innocent people at the Triskelion. I don't remember any of that happening in the Winter Soldier. It was mostly just Hydra agents.
Keep in mind
that one we can blame Tony.
That's Tony's fault.
People complained to Zack Snyder about this, and this was kind of why they ended up having to do this
here's
whole
Sokovia.
dressing issue.
Okay.
Here's Sokovia.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
So
stop
a whole lot of one of those things was technically our fault. Well, so remember
two
of
those things were your fault.
Yeah, the Hulk running around is your fault directly, and indirectly the fault of the Shield Council and the military.
Yeah, no, it's the government's fault, because with what happened with New York, they were going to nuke New York.
Yeah.
And as far as the Winter Soldier shit with the helicarriers, Shield was given the green light by the government to build those fucking things.
Yeah, so, they were going to assassinate half the Avengers and all of the fucking shitloads of people all over the world. What the hell? You can't leave that shit around. That has to go. No. Cap made the right call. They were ready. They were about to launch the fucking... Anyways.
Okay, well, stop.
Yeah. Thunderbolt Ross destroyed Harlem. Also, Thor, not our responsibility. He's his own man. He's the ruler of a sovereign nation. Well, crown prince of a sovereign nation. Hulk, well, that's kind of a plot hole, because the fucking Quinjets couldn't go into space until later, but this is beside the point.
All right, so here we go.
This is fucking...
Here we go. All right, so this is what kicks it off. Unlike in the original comics, where it was inexperienced heroes. where inexperienced heroes had to take on a C-list villain who had the power to just explode and reconstruct himself. That was what caused the world to reign in superheroes, because the proper ones were not there to do the job. But in here, it's just like, oh yeah, the Avengers caused collateral damage and they need to be brought in.
Hey, at least they made it their fucking fault directly, rather than being some stupid side bullshit.
Yes, but only 2 of these events are the fault of the Avengers.
Why are you leaving a gun out in the middle? Fucking, oh my god.
Yeah,
this guy is supposed to be a former secret agent.
I don't think we'll ever get a good Civil War arc.
This is dumb.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, whenever heroes fight each other, it's never really a good
idea. Yeah, this is Baron Helmut Zemo. Allegedly, he's a Baron. Allegedly, he's supposed to have more resources than this, according to Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but, you know. Oh, would you look at that? Well, somehow he stumbles upon the book that he needs to make make all of the rest of his plot happen.
By the way, I do want to agree with Alex real quick. In the Winter Soldier, it was established that Hydra did not use a book to just give out commands to tell Bucky what the fuck to do. They basically brainwashed him. They kept him in suspended animation, and they would tell him what needs to be done. They wouldn't recite fucking quick cheats to just wake him up and tell him what to do. So yeah, the book is just an instant retconned MacGuffin that is here, and it's never going to be heard from again.
Yes.
Like after the second,
the only movie that
much of it encrypted, not easy to decipher. Excuse me, she was brought up in front of a fucking council because all of it was fucking public.
And
that's not what happened in the last movie.
Yes, and Zemo has spent decades, or not decades, because the Sokovia thing happened a year ago. He spent a whole year decoding this damn thing?
If it was actually encrypted, it would probably take more than a year to get through, because those are literally terabytes worth of information. And that, you know how much that is? Billions of bytes.
No, but look, here's the thing. He would have had to spend, let's say optimistically, 2 to 3 months grieving the death of his loved ones. Then he would have had to spend the remaining 9 months figuring this shit out and trying to get and crack down on leads on where to go to get this damn thing. And also translate and decipher it when he finally gets a hold of it. So
pay attention to where this man's nose is in relation to the sink.
Yeah, which
his mouth is above the line. His nose is above the line.
No, it was above the line.
So
an earlier shot, but then when goes back down.
So fun fact, I have a certain amount of medical experience here, and I'm CPR certified. You don't start drowning after 5 seconds of having your nose underwater.
I mean, I'd be
he was also
if I had
found
his blood was rushing to his head and whatnot.
No,
and
that's
now
not
Sam and here we go. Here it comes.
Oh yeah, this also changed some aspects of the MCU timeline, because originally there was supposed to be a certain timeline compression to what happens. So certain things,
Homecoming.
Yeah, so certain things were supposed to take place over a shorter period of time than they did in real life. In this movie, he fucked up a lot of ancillary MCU material. Also,
so
just like I said,
and you want to, yeah.
No. I was just gonna say. So okay, I get what Vision is saying, but here's the thing: most of the Avengers have not. The Avengers have only been active for what, 2-3 years now. They haven't really.
Since 2012, they got together and they've been kind of an organized group since then. So that's been in like just under 4 years, I suppose.
Okay, I think RDJ just improvised that line. I don't think. Oh God, here we go. Okay.
Oh, he's killed.
All right. I'm gonna fucking say
3.6.
it.
Damn, boy.
I'm gonna fucking say it. If Tony is the one who needs to be, Tony is the one who needs to be held accountable for most of this because it was him who built Ultron. Also Banner, but Banner's not here right now. And if we needed a way to ease Tony's conscience, like if he really wanted to redeem himself, then why didn't he find and track down all of the people who had families or loved ones in Sokovia and personally donate as much money to them to help move on as possible?
Yeah.
Why did he just go to an MIT school?
Okay. Hey, so hang on. We need to be put in check. And then
I
will also mention that Tony is the first person to completely break that concept.
Yeah.
In this movie alone.
All right, Kevin. Well, yeah. Okay, you know what, Kevin? I think they're definitely
you do realize that there's not really anything that they can do to Okay, so if Thor was here, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna legislate at Thor? They're gonna ask him nicely not to help people in certain places because he's just Thor's just gonna laugh in your face and say, "Ha ha! Oh, I don't think so."
And Cap brings up
you know what?
point.
That's a more interesting idea than anything presented in this film.
No, but see, this would have been interesting because what the Russo brothers were setting up, I would have liked to have seen this in other Avengers films or characters that were affected by this, but it only happened to 2 of them.
Yeah.
So I really think that they should have at least focused that, say if they didn't sign the accords, then the government just comes after certain members because they agree with Cap that, this is bullshit. You can't tell us where we can and can't go.
Oh yeah. So here's another thing. As somebody who people who are movie only fans of the MCU think that this film is, big and important and all that. As somebody who religiously watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Netflix shows, I watched every episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for years.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peggy is dead.
Oh yeah, you look at the guy. Hey, Cap, if you look back and to your left, that's you.
Yeah, so
you see her husband carrying carrying her coffin. That's you.
Look, buddy, future stuff that gets put in the future. We'll get to that plot point when it gets
Spoiler warnings for Endgame. Hi. Oh yeah. So this is and here's
well, that was nice of Sam to go with her.
Here's
I'm
Sharon.
sorry to go with him.
Yeah.
All right. I think Kevin wants to get his point in. Maybe we should let
Sharon's significant scenes have all been left on the cutting room floor aside from this one.
I think we should let Kevin. Yeah, he tried to.
I would love to get my point in, except 2 people will keep telling me, I shouldn't talk, and I should just let.
It's not so much a matter of you shouldn't talk as much as it is that we have some stuff to say. Please, I'm.
Yes, and well.
Feel free. I'm not going to interrupt you.
Unfortunately, I'm already feeling like I shouldn't just speak at all.
No,
well,
please.
Speak. What are you? We're just talking.
I'm interested in hearing encounters to this because there's a lot of. I just want to hear.
Why should I honestly bother? Tell me.
Because I want to hear it.
Oh, come on,
genuinely.
Kevin.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah, this is something that they took Cap's speech and gave it to Sharon, and they truncated it. They did the MCU thing.
Oh my God.
Black Widow's here too.
I don't know why. Yeah, why is she here?
I mean, what's wrong with that?
I mean, it's not really a matter of she has no reason to be here.
Yeah.
Or it's just interesting.
I mean, why not? I mean, she can't support her fellow Avenger, man.
No, but it's like I liked it well enough when it was just Steve and Sam, because Sam is close. Because see, that's the thing. Steve and Nat really, they don't have a strong friendship. They developed.
Did Winter Soldier not
Winter
happen?
Soldier, they developed it, and
Yeah.
Age of Ultron decided to nuke it.
Yeah, there was a bunch of speculation back in Winter Soldier or about them, and then
I remember.
And then
look, regarding
there's a
your
movie
earlier
called
point,
Next Avengers, but
and regarding your earlier point on Tony, he deciding to sign the accord instead of doing what you guys would suggest. Tony feels like this is the de facto way.
I mean,
even if it's not the way, this is the way he feels is right.
Fair enough. That is fair enough. They would get results immediately.
I can understand that.
Yeah, I know, but
in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, Chadwick Boseman.
Hello.
Yes.
You were the man.
You were the man.
It was an honor meeting your voiced counterpart, James Mehvies III, who had also the privilege of meeting Chadwick before he was even casted, before Black Panther even came out.
Now,
here's the thing. People saw this movie and the meme, and Sonic, I do apologize for this meme, but somebody made a meme on Twitter being like, officer, help, a black man just stole this movie.
You know what? As a black man, you get a black man approval.
Because he and Spider-Man both basically were the most popular characters in the movie, even though a bunch of other established characters were in it.
When I heard that the guy who played Black Panther had died, I thought they were talking about
T'Chaka.
At first, I thought they were talking about T'Chaka. Yeah, because I would have thought I wouldn't have thought that Chadwick Boseman would have been, but man. Oh yeah, funny thing. Like one of the things I probably should have mentioned this before we started watching the movie. But something that always irritated me about the Civil War comic was that they were just blatantly attempting to do The Incredibles, but weren't able to do it as well.
Keep in mind, the reason why Wakanda is addressing this is because Ultron was stealing vibranium from them.
And Wakandan aid workers were killed in Lagos.
Yep.
That is true.
There was
although at this point they might as well just be the Dora Milaje. Hey, because
not established yet.
No, I'm aware of that. I'm just saying that the Dora Milaje have been since then been on the record of first hint of T'Challa having the Black Panther powers.
Yeah, so close. Yeah. He was so close.
I feel like in every adaptation of Black Panther, T'Chaka ends up kicking the bucket while T'Challa further takes up the mantle. He was already Black Panther prior to this, according to the MCU timeline.
Yeah, he was.
See,
here's
at the very least, the king could be the king while T'Challa took his place.
Yeah, so in the comics, fun fact, T'Challa was Black Panther, and then his father died, and he became the king. And the thing about Black Panther and the King are two different titles in the comic, and that was something that was being set up here. This is how it was supposed to be. And then Black Panther pays no attention to that and just completely rewrites
and I don't
the history
really mind that much.
It's not. It's not like it's that bad of an idea in execution, but like
for a later movie, not this movie.
I know.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so
this is actually me praising this. Oh, by the way, hey, I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy this development of Steve Sharon's relationship.
Not established yet.
I really wish this relationship was
because the rest of this is on the cutting room floor.
Yes. Well, you want to talk about development. Like, here's the thing. I'm actually I was underwhelmed by King T'Chaka's death in this movie because we barely spend enough time with him, and when we finally he just kicks the bucket.
Espionage master of disguise.
Oh yeah.
He's Zemo.
Oh yeah. So at this point, by the way, hey, everybody should be
master of disguises is Zemo's whole shtick.
Yeah.
So he had to make it look like that he was Bucky.
Yeah.
Except
So
the
fun
fact
fact, this
that-
also brings up the you remember the photostatic veils from Winter Soldier? Or why does he need
Yeah.
prosthetics if those exist and he's raiding
That's what I was
Hydra?
gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. Or hell,
And this movie was
how
made
did
by the same people who did the other one.
How did the government not pick up that that was a disguise? Because again, they don't just take it on face value. Okay, sometimes they take it on, or
Yeah, but
most
here's the
times.
thing. Bender. Here's the thing. The Winter Soldier has been a wanted man since the events of Captain America: The Winter Soldier,
yeah.
and ever since the Hydra files got leaked out on the internet. So, they see this guy, and they look at the most similar looking guy out there, which in this case is Bucky. So, and they don't know that Zemo and they don't even know about Zemo.
But at this point, it's one of those things where I wonder, the existence of the photostatic veils should be immediately tripping off all kinds of
Yeah, but the thing is that they knew
all kinds of people. Well, it's like, holy shit.
Winter Soldier, he had a mask over his mouth.
So it's not like the Winter Soldier's face was very no.
Like in the Hydra files, those all that stuff would have come out.
Here it comes.
Yes.
So yeah, obviously, even though Natasha's trying to tell Steve to not get involved, everybody who has a functioning brain would be able to know that, yeah, of course Steve is going to get fucking involved. If he thinks that Bucky did this,
yeah.
Now, and that's exactly why Zemo did this.
Although I will say one thing here, I think it should be, if they're able to use the facial recognition tech on. Oh yeah, this is why they're called Team Cap. But by the way,
yes, because they were wearing caps.
Yeah, the MCU standard disguise. We look like ourselves at a baseball game.
That'll be lampshaded in Ant-Man and the Wasp, but we'll get there.
But
also,
yeah,
Sharon, unfortunately, her character kind of gets a bit of a thing going on that's really stupid in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but let's not jump ahead.
We're already jumping ahead too much. But yeah, so
guys happen.
One thing that I find kind of interesting here is that they're able to use facial recognition to figure out that this is supposed to be Bucky Barnes, but they're not able to use facial recognition to figure out that Bucky Barnes was somewhere else when this happened.
Yeah. So,
and that he didn't, and that he never wound up being, he was never anywhere else. He just kind of showed up and then disappeared.
I noticed that Zemo has been reading off the code on the book.
Yeah.
So
that's a good little detail.
So yes, that showcases to us that he is figuring things out as it goes along, and he wants to make sure that he is pronouncing things correct. Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
He's not letting anybody into his room. That's a nice little detail there. But yeah.
Now, Alex, you see what I mean? Like, Bucky has a slight stubble there, and so does
Zemo.
Zemo.
Yeah.
Bucky obviously has longer hair.
Yeah, Bucharest, or as people constantly joke, Bucky Rest.
Fuck you, CinemaSins. Genuinely, fuck you.
So here's the thing.
Joke is terrible. You should be deeply ashamed of yourself.
So here's the thing I want to ask.
That guy recognizes the Winter Soldier, and he's immediately going to go tell somebody.
That's interesting.
Are the Accords now just active because they are?
I believe they are. I believe they are at this point, since over 100 nations did sign it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I believe the event that we had earlier was the signing of the Accords, and I will appreciate the movie for this much. They gave us more of a rundown of what the Accords are supposed to do than what's in the Superhuman Registration Act in the comics.
Yeah.
Also, high bookshelves for my local library.
Gavin?
At the very least, the Sokovia Accords are more clearly defined than the Superhuman Registration Act in Civil War or the comic.
Even though, again, I have my problem with the Sokovia Accords and how they're started, and
Nice.
ultimately
too,
where they
Nice
go.
detailing, by the way, that Cap has taken off of his Avengers patches on his shoulders.
Yes, I do like that because
Well, I mean, he
he's
is
his own
kind of
person
going off.
now.
Yeah, and
Yeah, he's going a bit off.
Somebody-
communicating with him.
I will say somebody somebody once went through a list of all the ways that that Bucky would not have been able to get to Vienna or in time and still be in Vienna later on. But if we're gonna talk about continuity problems, we'll talk about how the week that passes in which Black Widow takes place later on in this film.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and
There we
another
go.
thing, as you saw, Bucky's prosthetic was concealed.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw.
Like kind of like concealed by a black glove, just like Luke Skywalker.
So in a sense, and they
Nice.
wouldn't have been able to identify Bucky from his arm. If Bucky's arm wasn't concealed well before then, they would have been able to identify.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh my god. I saw The Wire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, as a martial artist and somebody who's done some stunt choreography, hey, I want to bitch about this fight scene briefly. Hey, dear God, the blocking is.
We get it.
You fucking kidding me?
Yeah, we get it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, so.
Anyway.
So
that was convenient.
Journal that
Bucky, guy didn't move.
That journal that Bucky ended up taking out from underneath, that is actually supposed to be supposed to be something that he has so that he still remembers himself.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool. I wish he would have just exploded through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
Oh. It's a shame Bucky will never get to actually use the shield. Because that was really neat.
There was a
right. There's a deleted scene.
there was a deleted scene in the airport scene where Bucky did to use the shield for a brief moment, like he would in the comics, where he was where he succeeded Steve Rogers temporarily when people thought he was dead. Kind of like a situation where Batman was presumed dead.
That was cool.
In the New 52. Oh, and Dick Grayson had to take up the cowl.
I do appreciate how Steve is desperately attempting not to hurt these guys.
No. It was 352.
Oh, Bucky, if that were not your prosthetic arm, you would have dislocated your shoulder there.
Oh god.
Man,
you can tell that hurt though.
Thank God you're super soldier.
Of course it hurt because it's still connected to your nerves.
Oh yeah.
And there's Black Panther in the awesome vibranium cat suit.
I think you're ahead of us.
Oh, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yow.
Hi, T'Challa. When did you get here?
Yeah, how did
and everyone lost their.
He used.
He was probably.
He used one of those cloaked vibranium ships that they have, which.
Sure.
Yeah, which which at the very least is in continuity with this movie.
Yeah,
okay,
because
I'm sorry, I cannot get over this editing. Like it's too fast for me.
Well, part of the thing that they're trying to do. They're trying to avoid getting the movie an R rating, and I kind of wish that Disney had just said "fuck you" to the MPAA and released this unrated.
When I watched the trailer, most of the editing for this section was slowed down. It wasn't going too fast, but then again, it was trying to match the pace of the music.
I was gonna say that's actually interesting to note because the trailer editors tend to get access to raw footage.
And keep in mind the music also for this scene is very fast paced as well.
Yes. And the music music is done by Henry Jackman, and we can hear bits of the original Captain America march in there as well.
So I do want to say
this is
no Winter Soldier theme, unfortunately. I like the Winter Soldier theme.
Yeah, I remember the meme.
Did I just get passed by a fucking cat?
That's weird.
Have cats escaped Broadway?
That's not supposed to happen.
We're 3 years before the live-action Cats movie. I'm gonna stop with the cats now.
No, it's all right. I do want to say Henry Jackman is kind of mid sometimes with his scores. I mean, for this movie, he's doing an okay job, but it doesn't hit as hard as nothing's ever going to hit as hard as Alan Silvestri's score from First Avenger. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say Silvestri
Fair.
definitely did the best music out of all of this. It's just that like I really like Henry Jackman's Winter Soldier theme, and Taking a Stand is a good action theme. And, you know, they incorporated the Captain America march fairly often into that.
At the very least, we have actual music like that's memorable in this movie as well as the previous.
I'm going to be honest. I slightly disagree. I don't remember. I barely remember a single good track.
This is a great chase scene here. Written and directed by Zack Snyder.
No, seriously, like Bucky, he's taking the guy off and then riding the motorcycle. Oh, that was so fucking clean.
It was good.
This is also a nice. This right here, shooting in this location is a nice use of color as well.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like there is color. It's
just that this is a better use of color. Yeah, we were talking about this before the movie started, but there's a better use of color in this scene specifically than the airport fight later on, but we are getting ahead of ourselves. Although I will note, look how Captain America, who's famously red, white, and blue, his suit looks practically black here.
I love it.
Yeah, I know.
It's the same fucking shade as Black Panther's. And then we can
there it is.
Come back to here,
blue.
and it's a bright blue popping.
Yeah, I never liked. I know this is controversial, but I liked his Avengers 1 suit.
I like the Avengers 1 suit for some of it. Oh hey, it's the Cheadle machine.
Yeah.
War machine.
Hut.
You know, all three of them could take you all out, but I don't think they're going.
It's strong to take you on.
Not.
It's strong to take on anyone.
I mean, well, T'Challa decide.
Hey, Falcon, why didn't you fly away?
T'Challa's like, you know what? Public superheroes are a neat thing these days. I'm going to be one myself.
Yeah. Also, T'Challa, why are you surrendering? You're not in any danger. You're wearing a bulletproof suit.
At least I appreciate him being willing to do this. Like this should have been.
This shows a sign of humility in his character,
and I
do like that.
Oh man, that is a brilliant red on that paprika. By the way, that's a better red than any of the paprika I've ever
Jeremy
owned.
Scott completely missed the point of why these two are quote unquote sitting in this kitchen just talking about goddamn soup.
Okay, so, Jeremy, have you ever heard of the concept of small talk or romance, Jeremy?
And not only that,
Jeremy has
Tony has Vision here watching Wanda because Vision is the only person out of the Avengers who could stop her.
Yes, this is a scene that serves several purposes.
But your point still stands. Yeah, it does. But then, of course, Vision starts smitten with her.
Yeah, that.
It's Florence Nightingale syndrome, kind of.
Yeah, it's like.
Oh,
and this is slightly expanded.
Have you heard that crack? That was my neck. Don't worry about me. I'm fine.
And this is slightly expanded upon in WandaVision, but still, WandaVision is not a very good show.
Yeah,
God, we'll get to that. I'll get to it.
It had a good start.
Something I wanna say, like the Black Panther thing. Oh man, it would have been so cool if we'd have had a movie, where they were like the Black Panther isn't supposed to be the king, and we need to, why we have to address this. Like a whole movie built around the political
if you read the comics,
the king being Black Panther, and Killmonger shows up and throws a wrench in the works. That would have been so cool. And I like Black Panther. I do. It's a good movie, but it doesn't live up to its full potential, and I'm getting ahead of myself.
I'm gonna have to say cap to that, Alex. I disagree.
You didn't.
And again, I'm not someone who reads the comics, so I wouldn't know. So,
do you not like the movie, or?
No, I like the movie. I'm just saying that whole plot idea with the whole king thing. Like, I don't think it really should be that much of a focus.
Well, I I think it's one of those things where they could have
you could do without it.
Well, you could have seriously made it a major point of intrigue, and like built this whole thing. But one of my things that I don't like about Black Panther is that they treat the role of Black Panther and King as one of the. We'll get to that. It doesn't.
Well, wait,
matter.
I get.
By the way, I just want to comment here. This is Vision looks so much duller here than he does in Age of Ultron.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they simplified his makeup.
Yeah,
but
I understand.
Again, I don't find anything
I understand
wrong
the
with
necessity of that, and I appreciate that they're. Oh yeah, that's a good shot. That's a good shot to get, because I've been there when convoys go by, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Okay, haven't got any input.
So you like cats?
Yeah, because
that's actually a good
that these guys were all all going from Bucharest to Berlin, and even though there's more evidence to suggest that they've flown separately.
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably flew them in and then put them on the convoy. That's probably more of what happened. Have you ever seen Con Air? Go watch that. In fact, just go watch Con Air. It's a great movie.
The thing is like,
also a good little way of getting some intrigue on what Black Panther is about for people who don't know.
Yep. And here we're going to get introduced to another recurring character in Black Panther's series of comics, Everett K. Ross, played by Martin Freeman.
No relation to Thunderbolt Ross.
Martin Freeman and is also known as Bilbo Baggins in the Hobbit trilogy, which also stars Andy Serkis.
He's the only thing. I should have put Bilbo on that poster.
Yeah, and also too, he also plays Watson in Sherlock.
Yep. So not only, they're collecting former Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, and Sherlock actors.
Because fun fact, this movie came out
that
2
guy's
years
after
after
ScarJo's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I would.
So
he's a man of culture.
He is a man of culture. This movie came out 2 years after Hobbit 3.
Yep.
Tony, your phone. I have to question why it's transparent, but whatever.
And Tony is now a bootlicker.
I mean, he kind of got a stick up his ass all of a sudden.
Hang on. No.
I mean, understandable.
It's not government property. That's a plot hole. That was
that
was given to Steve by Howard Stark.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? Okay, maybe the wings are government. Well, no, the wings can't be government property because Tony made those wings. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I can understand why Tony's a bit of an ass here, with the whole guild sort of thing.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, hey, because like the shield was, so the vibranium sample was given to Howard Stark by the King of Wakanda back in the 1930s, I think. He made it into the shield, and then the 1940s.
Look, FDR's pen.
Cap. That's an unusual thing for you to say, Steve.
Yeah, but here we go.
Considering you were...
Now we gotta continue that whole rivalry we've been building up.
Oh, green pepper.
Those are good chairs, by the way. In fact, those chairs that they have in that conference room, I'm sitting in one of those right now.
Nice.
Good on you. I still need to buy a new chair.
Yeah, it's not that I specifically sought out the Civil War chair. It's just a fairly common office chair, and it's good design. Nice lower back support.
At least Tony did admit Ultron was his fault, and this is his way of making up for that.
Yeah. And I also like how they kind of explain why he came back after the stupid way Iron Man 3 ended.
Yeah,
this
is one of the things that I criticize about the MCU all the time. They know that they're going to be doing stuff later, but they still commit to doing these really stupid things in other movies for basically no reason.
Here's Tony also explaining why he wasn't really a big fan of Steve Rogers to begin with, which was the fact that all his dad would really talk about is how great Steve Rogers is, while not really caring much about his son, which
that wouldn't
caused quite a bit of an emotional distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's almost like Howard wanted Tony to be like Steve.
Yeah.
And then it's just like Tony.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
But at this point, this kind of makes a certain level of sense here. You know,
here's the thing.
I feel like we're
Tony's got Steve right where he wants him. He's got him right where he wants him. Steve is almost going to do it.
Yeah, this is this movie's version of Steve.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah, this is this movie's version of the two of them.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This is excuse. How have we not solved this problem in the last couple of years?
Yeah, how does she not have a green card?
Yeah.
How can she be on the Vengers and not have a green card?
Yeah,
also,
she's going.
Wanda was also
kind of a bit.
Oh, Alex, keep in mind, Wanda, prior to this was a part of. Not only a willful volunteer of Hydra's experiments, but also.
Oh yeah, but so was Black Widow. She was fucking.
That's
true. They've done this stuff before where they've like they shuffle agents around. There's a whole thing in Winter Soldier dedicated Operation Paperclip, and like.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin.
And then.
Hi, Sharon.
Kevin. Alex.
What?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So. Essentially, Zemo. Is disguised as a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, and it's established that.
Oh yeah, he's very good at infiltration.
Yeah, that was part of his job. He was Sokovia Kill Squad.
Yeah. One of the things that I'd bring up.
At the very least, they explain why he has the resources that he does.
Yeah, he was. He was Black Ops before this. Yes, I understand.
Yep.
And I understand that. But one of the things I'd say, I think he should have used the photostatic veil in this scene, because then he could have like started off as a different guy, and then that's unusual. But yeah,
he
could have started off as a different guy, and then
the government released that photo. Released that photo. Oh, it's just so that people would get their attention on the Winter Soldier, and they could alert literally anybody it worth a damn him to go after him. That was why they released the photo on the news.
Plan.
And here we go. Sharon just updated them what's going on, and now Steve's getting suspicious.
He writes with his left hand.
My question, this is a basic question.
Why
is nobody in there?
I think it's because there was a one-on-one session, and then he also has these guys about to unleash an EMP to cut off the power.
Yeah, but that still doesn't change. That may be true, but it's like, no, even when you're in a one-on-one session with a psychotic killer or terrorist,
one of the things I'd like to mention, I'd like to reference
very secure
Silence
container.
of the Lambs.
Yeah.
So yeah, they have Bucky inside of a very secure container. It's not like he was going to go anywhere.
Yeah,
or as long as it was on.
Yeah, Hannibal Lecter still had had like people in the room with him when Clarice was like he was in the containment cell and the question.
Bucky recognize. And Bucky
Question.
Oh, I do
recognizes
like a little.
How did
Also,
they
I do
not?
like the little Winter Soldier theme coming in a little bit.
Oh yeah. Now there's actually a really interesting outtake later on here that I'm going to bring up. But yeah, this is another interesting use of the colored lighting. And I almost wish there would have been more contrast here.
And also keep in mind that
oh yeah,
Zemo is likely trying to make sure he is pronouncing these words correctly.
When they were filming this,
and this also builds
when
tension.
they were filming this, Sebastian Stan actually did bust the door down. Early,
cool.
like on the second punch, Sebastian Stan and knocked the door off of the pod, and he was like, "Whoops."
Whoopsie.
It happens. Yeah, it happens.
Imagine if that got turned into a what if and he just broke out and snapped Zemo's neck. It was like, Bucky, why the fuck did you do that? I don't know.
Like, you know why that's never gonna happen.
Oh yeah, because they don't have good ideas at the What If studio.
And not only that, it's
all
currently
about
now
Captain Carter.
Yeah, now it's just all about Captain Carter as opposed to it being the anthology series it was built up to be.
Yeah.
I haven't watched season 2, so I don't know.
No, you're better off. It's like
okay then.
You're not missing much. Like it just makes the question.
Now
they also have original the character Native American girl. As another Mary Sue character.
So I have a
got it. So
question. Why are Cap and Falcon the first two to respond to this rather than having the entire security?
Remember?
Yeah, but why didn't they have the whole security team just outside the door?
Because they literally didn't know because nobody else knew what was going on.
I mean, the security team probably left as soon as the EMP went off.
The security team was more investigating the EMP rather than, say Zemo, having a one-on-one with Bucky.
Yeah. And plus, remember,
Captain. They're trying to evacuate the building and whatnot, so that's part of why.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually interesting setup here because Tony winds up going on to make
and suddenly all the women in the audience got
more easily concealable. Yeah. There was not a wet seat in the movie theater or when Steve took his jacket off this day.
Yep.
And also keep in mind people think that just because Bucky is innocent and they should just, call off the search and whatnot, even though Bucky is still very much a dangerous man and whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, if anybody should have gone on to be the next Black Widow, I think Sharon Carter should have been the one, but we'll get to that. Hey, Bucky, you're where every man in the entire world wanted to be. You should have savored that moment.
He's mind control, so he doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, at the very least, T'Challa still has better cat physics than
Bender out.
Fucking
Hey, that's a legitimate technique which doesn't work on people with metal arms.
Yeah, but here's the thing: there's like Bender said, there were still nerve endings in that arm.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying, and like that was. Oh yeah, places like that exist, and they are baffling. And like I have been in buildings that have just random drop holes like that.
We're back. And Zemo's gone.
Yeah.
Yep. Zemo disappeared into the crowd like I espionage agents would.
I think the photostat. I wish this is basically going to be one long thing about me complaining that they don't use the photostatic veil enough in the MCU after it was introduced.
And here comes another scene that everyone loves.
I think the line about how you say nobody was dry, nobody's pants were dry. I went and Steve Rogers took off his jacket. It should be replaced with this scene right here.
Oh yeah.
See, this is women in the audience. This is why you should have wore the black
Yes.
pants today.
Hot damn, Rogers.
Captain America never skips arm day or chest day.
Or leg day.
Also, by the way,
don't-
hey, him jumping
don't
onto
forget-
the thing and being able to pull it down like that implies that Captain America weighs like 500 pounds.
Oh my!
Well, let's also
Which
not
I
forget
can
the fact that
believe
he has
because
super-
he's pure muscle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
let's also
nothing
not
but
forget the fact that he has superhuman strength.
Oh,
and
yeah,
speed
no,
and
I'm-
durability.
yeah. Superhuman
And he
strength,
can
speed,
see faster,
agility,
better.
durability, and
I
stamina.
can see faster.
He's essentially Superman, but without solar energy.
Yeah, Superman, but
Yep.
he can't fly. He's Golden Age Superman.
Essentially, yes.
Nice little callback to
Superman.
nice callback to the Winter Soldier here, by the way.
Yep.
That was cool.
There's a good bit
This is when
of
the movie gets really
there's
good.
a good bit of pottery in this film, as
Yep.
Star Wars fans would love to.
It's like
Poetry.
poetry. It rhymes.
You know, I'm
Look at
swear,
that.
every time I look, I know it's fun. So
like
every time I look
poetry,
at Zemo, I just think of Tobey Maguire for some reason.
Yeah, keep that message in mind that Zemo's listening to.
He he
Yeah.
does look a bit like Tobey Maguire, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Well, now he does that. He shaved his beard because he doesn't have the stubble anymore.
Well, no,
Yeah,
Bully Maguire, had a little bit of stubble.
And of course, he's got to
Yeah,
tie
but
up
he-
loose ends.
Through Moscow.
Yeah, but Zemo
Oh yeah,
didn't really
post
have
credit scene. Here we go.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
post-credit scene in
coming.
Ant-Man.
yeah. So Ant-Man and reused this footage for the post-credits scene, and yeah, which is kind of irritating to me. Hey, but you know what? It's better than what they did with Hercules and Love and Blunder.
Oh god,
Yeah,
yeah.
but hey, man, I mean, it's a good post credit.
So, yeah, they keep Bucky's
Oh, yeah, no, this
arm
is-
pressed onto that.
Yeah,
Which
it's
makes
in a
sense,
hydraulic
though.
press. Vibranium arm versus 1,000-pound hydraulic press. Who wins?
And I like this. Which Bucky am I talking to?
Hey! One thing from the
Yeah.
prequel comic that they didn't fuck up.
Yep, that's Bucky.
Okay, this is a little bit weird here for the blocking. Because from the way it's presented here. Yeah. The scene is very interesting from a blocking perspective because it's not that it's blocked incorrectly, but parts of the film are shot in such a way that, like, there are close-ups and mid-shots that are at slightly different angles to the other shots. Oh yeah, I'm not the only Winter Soldier, or so. Oh,
So
Yeah, that makes-
essentially,
Here's another
Is
retcon.
yeah.
so
Is
essentially
it?
Bucky's task was to collect the samples of Howard Stark's super soldier formula.
Yeah,
Which
this
was
is
an attempt
also
at recreating Abraham Erskine's formula.
yeah.
Yeah.
This here
unfortunately
is something taken from the Ultimate Comics, by the way. Hey, where they had multiple attempts to recreate the super soldier serum that resulted in other villains and occasionally heroes.
And the fun fact here, some of the other super soldiers, which are actual Hydra agents, not people that were kidnapped. Fuck you, CinemaSins.
Yeah,
Mhm.
CinemaSins completely fucked that up.
They
It screwed up a lot of
So-
stuff.
So here's the thing. Some of these
Oh.
guys are actually played by the stunt doubles of Steve Rogers, Bucky Barnes, and whatnot.
Yep.
That's nice. Yeah,
So it's a
so
neat little attention to detail in that regard. And then there's also the fact that
why don't they
It's like
use them,
the-
you ask?
because they
Well-
went
Finally getting
because-
ready.
because this
Yeah.
scene's about
Can
to
you get ready now?
establish why.
Yeah, they're basically completely uncontrollable. Also, that's a hop keto technique, and hop keto fucking sucks. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I'm letting my professional sensibilities get in the way of my
And
movie watching.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Henry Cavill? Is that you? It looked like him.
A little bit, yeah.
So yeah,
I
this
believe
is
that's
why-
Scarlett
Wow.
Johansson's stunt double.
Yeah,
there.
so this is why why Hydra never used these guys again, and because
Now, I will say, yes, this is a little bit convenient. However,
and that was before the serum.
Yeah, I was gonna say, however, this is not a, this makes perfect sense, because Hydra does not like chaos. They want to be able to predict things, they want to be able to control things.
They want order.
And that's why this kill squad were put on ice.
Yeah. Now, I will say, it's kind of unfortunate that they didn't test this on one first, because it's like, that's what they did with, the American Army did with Steve.
Yeah, so I do like how Sam brings up that even if Tony does believe them, the Accords and the government are not going to let them go take care of this problem because
at this point, here's what I do. And this is just from a me perspective. Thinking about this, I'm gonna say, okay, Tony, look at this. We need. I'll sign whatever the fuck you want as long as we can get this shit put together, right? There are bigger things at work. Tony, let me. We will. We got shit that needs to happen. I'm sorry about all the other shit that's happened, and let's. Oh yeah, thank you, Ross, for making this this less less realistic.
Keep in mind, Ross has unrealistic expectations for everything.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, this is not a criticism of the movie. This is a criticism of this fucking character.
Yeah.
I do like how Tony still has stress that he's going through.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's busy chilling with Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I like her delivery of downstairs. Oh yeah.
All right.
So Tony Stark is about to go recruit a 13-year-old boy to help him.
No, I think he's around either six.
No. Oh, Kevin. Madam Web retconned this movie so that Peter is now 13 years old. Also, hi Sony DVD player I have downstairs.
We talk about this. Future room, no future room.
I'm not criticizing, guys. I'm not criticizing this movie for that.
No,
that's a Madam Web thing.
Fuck Madam Web and all of its problems. Oh, hi Marissa Tomei, who is actually older than she looks.
Yes.
Finally, yeah, people kind of criticize this movie for
Tom Holland is also older than he looks.
All right, so here
Tom Holland looks like he's about 13 years old.
Well, yeah, I'm a year older than him.
The way that Tomei was mouthing something, and they were like, "What?" And Vince was like, "What was she mouthing?" And I'm like, "I think she was saying."
So here's a fun fact.
That's a curved TV.
Here are two fun facts. I'm a year older than Tom, so that means let's see. This movie started filming in 2015, so I was about to turn 20, and so was he, and he was already 19. And speaking of filming, second fun fact: Peter was not in the script originally.
No, that was something I believe Sony came to them. With this.
So Sony and Marvel finally said, "Okay, we can work together. We'll share Spider-Man." So they wanted Spider-Man to be in the MCU. Marvel said, "Yes, we'll give him a solo movie," but the condition was, well, we kind of need him to be used now. So they had to shoehorn him in to this movie with barely a suit that was not meant for his size. It was meant for a stunt double.
By the way, I hate the homemade spider suit here. Also, keep this in mind. This is going to be important later.
How about the homemade?
Okay, hang on. Real quick.
Homemade suit makes sense in this context.
I understand, and
And I finish. Since essentially, Peter is, as you can see, is in a very poor state, and he's kind of been dumpster diving in quite often. So naturally, I wouldn't really expect him to just suddenly gain access to like spandex and whatnot.
So I understand that, but I have to say something else. That was a $2,000 TV in the living room.
Yeah, but at the same time, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
come and
because you
go.
have a very
And like
expensive looking TV doesn't
No,
mean
no.
you have all the money in the world.
No, I'm running my eyes all. Oh, it's an iDog.
Yeah.
That would have been free because you can pick those up on the side of the road. Yeah, that's like an Apple II, I think.
By the way, also yes, it is. By the way, most of this scene with these two, these are all improvised.
Yeah,
because Tom Holland
was bad at remembering his lines.
And Robert Downey Jr. was kind of helping him get.
That's what I was going to
things.
Yeah,
that is what I was also going to say. Yes, Robert Downey Jr. being a kind sweetheart, he actually helped coach him, and he also improvised a lot of stuff that Tom didn't know how to react to.
Yeah, Tom eventually gets it, but and Alex, it says the MCU's timeline still says that Peter was born in 2001, so by this point he's either like 15.
So Madam Web fucked up something else.
No. Yeah,
that's great.
They did.
That's fucking amazing.
They did. Yes. Because Peter is supposed to be 15 in this in the start of this.
Yeah, and he's had
go ahead.
Yeah, he's had his powers for 6 months, he says.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and but the thing is like this is an interestingly worded way of saying the whole "with great power comes great responsibility," but I don't really like how that continuity is not maintained in the John Watts Spider-Man and Solo movies.
So
however, it doesn't get brought up again until later.
Yeah,
it doesn't get brought up until No Way Home. But I do kind of like how
this whole thing here was like throwing off red flags for me when I originally saw this movie. Because like, oh no, Peter Parker lives in an apartment.
Living for Tony.
Yeah. So okay.
Tom Holland
rather than
had
a house,
forgotten where he was supposed to be.
Hang on, that's a skateboard and roller skates.
Yeah. So okay, here's the thing, though. So here's the thing. The whole this movie was proof that the Russo, because Spider-Man was just shoehorned in here, they didn't know what to do with him. So as far as all of this continuity goes, it would unfortunately be not remembered when John Watts came on. So there is a bit of, okay, clearly nobody did their homework and watched this scene to keep the continuity.
There's another thing to bring up. The design of the web shooters in Homecoming changes completely.
Because
now there's no way he'd be able to. Where did she come from? He was. Oh wait, he levitated through the.
Hi, Hawkeye.
Floor. Okay.
Hey!
Hi, Hawkeye.
By the way, can I stop for a minute? Can we stop for a minute and just say, congrats to Jeremy Renner for recovering, and thank God he's still with us.
Oh yeah, because that was fucking brutal what he went through.
Oh yeah.
And he was my favorite moment of this movie because you finally get to see Hawkeye be a fucking badass.
Like you didn't.
This is one of my
be a badass in the other two Avengers.
Well,
movies.
This is one of my.
This
is one of my favorite lines too.
Wow.
I retire for
Kevin,
5 minutes and everything goes to shit.
He was awesome in Age of Ultron, but he was shit in the Avengers. All he did was just be mind controlled and shoot arrows. There really was nothing important to his character.
I mean, I appreciate his. He has a good scene with Black Widow there.
So should I say the same thing about Legolas when we get to the Lord of the Rings? Bender.
I think
say that about Legolas if you want. But what does that have to do with Hawkeye?
Yeah, I was gonna say. So that's kind of comparing apples and oranges, but at the same time, like I don't really think that he was wasted in the Avengers because
you're just gonna say that all he does is shoot arrows And guess what? Spoiler alert, Legolas mostly shoots arrows all the time, too.
Oh, yeah, but Legolas... Here's the thing. Him and Legolas both have significant character moments.
Yeah, character moments. What I'm saying is...
Hawkeye has a really great scene with Black Widow, where the two of them talk about, the mental toll that him having been mind-controlled takes on.
Yeah, but okay, so what I'm saying is that was essentially just riddled with a bunch of other stuff, and that was not a good introduction to Hawkeye.
That was an interesting break of the 180 line there.
This movie gives him more to do. That's what I'm saying. This and Age of Ultron gave him some things. Well, Age of Ultron, he did have some stuff, but here he's got even more stuff.
Oh, well, hello, Denai Guerrera.
Yes, now, this is another one of those things that made me say, why aren't we getting a Hawkeye movie? Why aren't we getting a Hawkeye movie?
We get a Hawkeye TV show, but it ends up being about his lame-ass successor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I would love to be between Black Widow and what's-her-name.
But yeah, I'm not making the argument that, that's just Hawkeye's character in the other two movies. It's just he barely had any... Again, he was barely focused on. That's what I'm ultimately saying.
Yeah,
congratulations.
That was a door sound effect.
That was. Oh, yeah, here it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you haven't seen the deleted scenes, and at the time we would have seen this in the theaters, we hadn't. Something is about to come out of nowhere, and then be immediately dropped.
Yeah, and never brought back up again.
Oh yeah, the whole romance thing.
Yeah. Steve just made out with his niece.
Yes, he did.
Context.
Okay.
They're not related by blood.
No, that is true. They are not. This isn't a Luke and Leia situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Context. We didn't know yet.
Keep in mind.
Oh yeah.
Time travel.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You bros are trying to approve of incest by calling it wincest.
Yes. Look, again. That scene was.
Also, Steve Rogers, your parking job sucks.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, you have.
I can park a job.
Okay, they've just teleported sideways. So Steve has the world's tiniest car.
He's
undercompensating.
He's undercompensating.
Yeah. But he still can't park with the world's... at least he has a small vehicle.
And, yeah.
Hi, Scott. Now, everybody... Hey. I remember when people complained about him being allowed to use the Ant-Man suit for this. But, one of the things that...
I'm shaking your hand.
One of the jokes I've seen.
Theory about how I could go up someone's rectum and then make them explode from the inside? No.
One of the theories I saw with a joke online was that Hank made him the new suit because he said he was going to go beat up Tony Stark.
Okay, for context's sake, there is a I think it was a Jimmy Kimmel thing. There was a comedy sketch where somebody had rumored that Ant-Man was going to beat Thanos by going up his rectum and then making him explode from the inside.
Oh yeah, so here's the thing. We're gonna get to Scott's continued perspective on this whole thing in his movie, but I will say I do have questions that.
Keep in mind, most of what we're told about that perspective is from Luis.
Oh yeah, by the way.
But,
so people say, why is the airport empty? They literally said they were evacuating the airport, and then we had a significant enough time skip that they were able to get their suits on. Oh my god.
Oh god, look at that.
Oh no.
My god.
Why is your Iron Man suit bad, CJ?
Alex, please kill my eyes.
And then we have Black Panther here, and his suit looks fine.
Hey guys, I got a question. Do you think Black Panther knows the way?
Yes, he does.
God dang it.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. It's like, and this is on a green, and again, here's where the gray color does not do this any favors.
Yeah.
Because if you had proper color grading, it would fix this damn issue. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, this is clearly a green screen shot, by the way.
Like again,
Either that or they just fucked up the depth
Zack
of field.
Snyder.
I'm about to. No, I'm going to say it.
Oh yeah.
Underoos.
The way the nickname for
And
Spider-Man
everybody's
Underoos
green.
was actually
And-
based off of
Yep. And here's
the underwear brand.
now here is
Why aren't we
my-
having big
here is my
Spider-Man
least
dance
favorite
on, like,
Spider-Man suit.
Yeah. So okay. Fun
And
fact.
they
You can-
Alex, would you like me to show you commission art of
Uh,
this suit, but with the Sam Raimi Man logo?
sure, later. I believe Bender and I are about to say the same thing because on set
Yep.
they had a different suit that looked much better and
did.
had a much larger, more defined spider logo. With
Yes, but it didn't fit Tom. It was not fit for Tom. It was for a stunt double. So
Yeah.
they just abandoned it and gave
Well,
him a mo.
well, they had the suit in some of the scenes, but then they CGI'd over it in the rest of it. And you can briefly see the practical suit later on in this film.
Thank you, Hawkeye.
Okay, thank you, Tony, for getting the fucking suit back on. You are not a
Now we
match
got
for
the
Wanda.
airport.
Now he just teleports. Okay.
Well,
They've
you know
changed
the way.
perspective as well. That's okay. They just changed position. Odd. Yeah.
It's a good line.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gimmick.
Now, something. Okay, where were we? What was that about collateral damage?
I love that.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's been Spider-Man for 6 months and he doesn't have his fully functioning spider sense. Tony, what was that about collateral damage?
Alex, keep in
It's
mind,
still a new Spider-Man.
an MCU Spider-Man's and Spider Sense is still more consistent than Andrew Garfield's.
Yeah, but Andrew Garfield at least
Yeah.
had his.
Stray bullet to the leg. He's that good.
I don't like how they cut to a close-up rather than just letting him do that, but I understand why. Because it's the kind of thing where you have to
Ow, ow, ow.
you have to make sure that the bow shot
I
is
detected
right,
that too,
and it would have required more setup for him to say the line and then
here
do
it is.
it.
Oh, here it is. He sensed the.
That's the sound Masato's car made when it fell over in Evangelion. I'm just pointing out all this. That's General Series 6000 sound effect.
Oh, let him geek, damn it. Let him geek.
I mean, it's Spider-Man. He's not Spider-Man if he didn't talk
Yeah, I
a
was
lot.
gonna say, hey, Spider-Man's whole shtick is talking.
Yeah. Ow.
Yeet!
Aw, I love you too. Oh, Bucky, let's hug it out, man.
The Cheadle machine has lost his taser. That Captain America
Okay,
is
then.
stronger than I thought. Well, I've been complaining about the Pym tech ever since Ant-Man 1. Scott, are you stupid?
The answer
Does you
is
have the
yes.
stupid?
Alex, you forget he's not as smart as Hank Pym.
No, I don't
Yeah.
forget.
If it were Hank Pym, he would have looked to
Biddies,
see if it were
also Hawkeye.
a water. He would have looked to see if it were a water truck.
Yep.
Oh,
And here we go.
Hi, Vision. Where were you earlier?
don't forget he was buried quite a bit.
And no, I was talking about in other points in this film, but yes. Oh yeah, we're about to get that shot, by the way. Also, Steve's suit has color now. It's no longer black and
there's
dull
also some blue
maroon.
skies.
Yeah. Vision is... How hard would it have been to get a wire rig on Vision for that shot? Yep, here's the shot from the poster.
Punch them in the face.
By the way, what do you want me to do about your bed stuff? Just leave them.
Yeah, I love how Spider-Man's lighting doesn't match anything else that's going on here. It doesn't even match the other CGI characters. That's so strange.
I also did like how Spider-Man was able to easily outrun Natasha, showcasing his speed and stamina.
That's actually a really good showcase of his abilities.
Yeah.
By the way, here's the title track. I really like this title track.
What is it?
This is a conversation I've had with several training partners.
I'm sure.
It's dry, so yeah.
I'm sorry,
I mean,
she's my friend.
I was gonna say, I was fighting Scarlett Johansson. Do you really want to mess that pretty face up? Zemo never told you the truth about your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. No, I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible. Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
Oh, I saw the shield clip through.
Oh, God. Oh.
The minute, Alex, here's the thing. The minute that somebody, like, slow-mos a lot of this stuff, you can't unsee it.
No,
I love this movie, but you can't unsee.
Oh, yeah, that's... By the way, that line is a reference to the constant criticism that people have given in, Oh, by the way, I want to complain about how, people complaining about this film now. So people said, Spider-Man shooting a line at Tony's hand, and this is a reference to Marvel vs. Capcom, by the way.
Yep. And Ant-Man.
Which we played last night. Go check it out.
Yeah, that's where I get to say, Swiss.
Kevin styled all over our balls. But yeah, so one of the practical aspects of filmmaking is that every shot requires setup, and the more things that are going on in each shot means that there's more chance that can go wrong.
Alex, the web lines are more pronounced in this movie than they are in later Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm back. I had to go help my family with groceries, but
yeah.
There's another good showcase of Spider-Man's powers. The fact that he was able to hold that up.
Yeah, not as good of a showcase as I'd like it to be, because he's capable of just tossing that away, but he's just staying there for some reason.
All right,
yeah.
Yes, I love this part.
Yeah. Yeah, the go for his legs thing was a reference to a criticism that the Winter Soldier got.
We don't talk a lot. That was a Deadpool. They straight up, that's a Deadpool line.
Because Steve, a lot of people aim for Steve's shield, and this is a thing that happens in the comics as well, where people aim for the shield even though the rest of his body is open. And so, yeah.
I will say this, though.
Well,
so what I was
who we need to contact? The Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
So I was going to say this before I left. One thing that I will stick with you guys on, and this is being live casted, Zack Snyder knows how to do a fight sequence better than this, because there's better color, there's better cinematography, the use of CG is better. Yeah.
Now, this is something I wish they would have brought this up. Yeah, I wish they would have possibly done this in the last Ant-Man, and rather than just debuting it here. But it's interesting.
It is, yeah.
Now, something Bender, something you were talking about before this. The Russos said that they specifically made this section of the film kind of duller because they wanted it to represent what was happening. Oh, there's another meme. They wanted it to represent what was happening in the film, but like the dull colors the dull colors are not necessary, and also they don't, some of them don't match the
Okay, I actually got him this time.
yeah, some of them don't actually match the lighting here. Yeah, see, Vision changed colors between shots there.
By the way, Kevin,
you can.
Kevin, did you write that line? Be honest, Kevin. Give me back my roadie.
No, why?
Because
where would you get an assumption like that?
By the way,
like
if anybody on our side is hiding any abilities, give me some suggestions. Since that wound up being fed into the clip of Don Cheadle as Captain Planet.
Yeah. I will also say
the fact that this shot was not in Homecoming is unfortunate.
Oh, here comes. Here comes.
Oh yeah, I hate this line.
Oh.
Oh wait, this is a different line. Fine, I like this line actually.
We haven't met yet. I'm Clint.
Oh hi, hey, a bow that transforms into something that you can hit people with rather than just hitting people with a bow. Hey,
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell. Oh, Arrowverse, come check this out.
I will also say this. I don't like
Hawkeye is a better archer than Green Arrow.
Yeah.
I don't like Scott's new suit for this movie specifically, but then again, it's poetic. I get it. They need everybody needs new costumes.
I do prefer this suit over the suits that he has later on that just have
the
nano helmets. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I also just. You know what? Also, here's a what if.
Something just flew in me.
Guys, holy shit! Here's a what if. They can steal this from us and don't have to give us credit, but just do it. What if Team Cap got past Team Stark and they went to Moscow?
Well, that's something I brought up at the time. By the way, Vision, why didn't you just destroy your ship?
Yeah, that is a good question. Why? Again, how it should have ended did a great job of this.
Yeah, Vision. And what if, like, and here, like, Natasha changing sides to work with Team Cap here? I mean, but that's another point of what if. Like, what if they just didn't get there?
Keep in mind, Tom Holland has not seen Empire Strikes Back. But
oh yeah.
At this point.
Yeah, I hate this line, by the way. Hey, because they kind of attempt to use this as setup for him being a Star Wars fan. But one thing I will agree with Linkara about in terms of Spider-Man characterization, Spider-Man shouldn't be fucking up pop culture references like that. And
no, he shouldn't.
He is later on shown to be a massive Star Wars fan. And I was looking for Star Wars stuff around here. Now, one thing that people got on my ass about when I made my Civil War review was I said, and you know, Star Wars is really popular and Force Awakens just came out. Now, he should know. He should be able to say, "Hey, Empire, or how did his mask come off?"
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I think.
Oh yeah, this is the
kind of slid off as
they've CGI'd over the practical suit that was on him. And this looks really bad, especially on a big screen.
Hold on. I'm coming, guys. Okay, I'm done.
I don't like that.
No, I don't. And I also question, Tony said that he was going to put, and again, this contradicts to what he said earlier. We need to be put in check. And he's like, okay, but again, as the characters will point out, the first chance Tony gets, he'll break these rules and won't get punished for it because he brought in a 15-year-old kid with no passport to Germany.
They're on a green screen. They're on a fucking green screen. You were at this airport. Why did you film that on a green screen?
I know. It's so fucking stupid. Again, granted,
The
Zack
logistics
Snyder,
of the way Disney makes these movies is so strange.
I
because
know,
some-
and again, that is.
Some shots are on the set, immediately followed by green screen stuff, and I feel like that has to be reshoots.
And again, this movie has a $200 million budget. It's got it's got a lower budget than fucking Batman v Superman, but Batman v Superman's effects look 10 times better than this. Oh, there it is.
Oh, Vision, you're a fucking idiot.
Bye. Oh,
Yeah. Also,
this is nightmare-inducing.
Yeah.
Remember when we thought it was actually gonna have Rhodey? They were gonna actually kill off Rhodey.
Oh my god.
That was
this is actually a really neat shot.
Spider-Man
here.
Spider-Man Homecoming is going to create so many problems for this
Look at
scene.
that.
Oh,
That was a good
here's
shot.
Here's another what if. What if Rhodey actually did die in the fall for this?
Well, then the Skrulls wouldn't be able to replace him later on. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we complaining about things that haven't happened yet?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh boy. Sam? Get up.
Not now. Not now.
Damn it, Sam.
That is a character moment I really appreciate there. Because that is
Vision.
100% something I imagine Tony doing, is just like if Sam would do that, Tony would do that, that Vision would do that, and I was like, oh shit. Now, yeah.
Now that awesome action sequence is over,
the film isn't going to have a climax.
Nope. Well, not that kind of climax.
Climax was alright. Climax was alright.
Yeah.
Convenient of him to leave the door open for the
Okay,
Yeah.
this is where
room service.
this is where the moral high ground for him just goes off. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, he barely had any moral high ground to begin with because he killed people.
Now, here's another instance of Zemo's plan relying too much on the actions of other people, I think, because this requires him having this requires the maid to bring it in and look in the bathroom rather than just bringing it in and then moving on. Because, fun fact, I've known some people who have worked hospitality. They tend to just be like, yeah, okay, here's your stuff.
Well, here's
Go
the
away.
thing. She's also. Well, here's the thing. He was probably like wondering, hey, where's the guy?
Did he not tell the hotel he was checking out? Did he just sneak out?
Apparently not.
Assume, oh yes, I would assume he snuck out.
Yeah,
Well,
but and that he also
bitch.
had to have
Nothing like
staged that
that's fine.
so that it would be found. And this
Right.
is such a like he did that. It's very. He staged the body to be found, and did it by getting the maid rather than like calling the cops and saying, "Hey, there's a weird smell coming out of this room." And
I do like how Vision feels partially responsible.
No cases.
Natasha, you should be arrested on site for even being here. What the hell?
Well,
yeah, I'll just put the pill cases here.
Also, notice how Natasha isn't in the Black Widow suit here.
No. Yeah, she was only in the Black Widow suit for the airport.
You know where
fight,
that black dress that I gave you earlier?
Yeah, So she doesn't have the Black Widow suit on her, and there's no reason for her to take it with her.
Right.
We'll get to that movie eventually, but
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with Natasha. It's like, dude, fuck. Don't fucking get on Natasha's case. Yeah, Natasha can kill them if she wants to.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And again, it's like, look. Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, now, this relies on a lot of stuff. This relies on Tony, caring enough to get involved at this point. Like, because if Tony was dead, or if Tony was too injured to deal with him, this plan doesn't work.
Yes, no, see, that's the one thing I will say this. At least Lex Luthor's plans in Batman v Superman, it didn't rely on chance or luck for the end thing to happen.
For the end
like,
game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I also want to bring up here, like, he does look a decent amount like the Doctor, but if they used, like, the photostatic veil, for instance... Oh, yeah, by the way, prosthetics don't look like that. Like makeup and stuff like that, that tends to be, to dissolve the second you peel it off. It doesn't...
at the very least...
You can't trace it.
At the very least, he has studied these people long enough to know, what they would likely do.
Well,
yeah,
but Tony is kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing.
Yeah, but
he's predictable in his unpredictability.
But see, here's the thing. You say Zemo has studied them long enough. He's only had a year. You said because
now imagine.
Yeah, but
here's an issue here. This place still has power.
Yeah, no, it should not have...
a surprising amount of places that have been run down for over like 20 years, but they still have power.
But this is also in the middle of Siberia.
Yeah, no,
any
power.
They have,
and he just so happens to find a VHS tape that
he was looking for the specific. He was looking for 1991. That's what it read.
No. Oh, I'm just saying this is a VHS. That's an interesting drum set.
Alex, he was looking for May 16th, 1991. He went through a folder.
Oh, hi, Henry Cavill.
A folder that read 1991.
No.
So
I'm aware. I'm aware that's what he was looking for. I'm just commenting on it's interesting how that VHS tape still exists and is still playable, because as somebody who's used a lot of VHS tapes in his time, they're not that reliable.
No, they're not.
Still works.
You have to clean them. You have to make sure you take good care of them. But also too, again, going back to what Alex and I were talking about. Okay, so he was looking for the tape that showed Bucky killing Stark's parents. But again, had Tony not got involved and had Tony not been able to be here, then this plan does not work. So it really is confusing.
He could have likely sent the videotape to Tony and had a note that said "claiming."
But again,
so
like,
even there could have been easy backups.
But that's my main problem with this climax and with Zemo. What the fuck is his goal? Is to tear the Avengers apart, but it feels like, okay, he either is trying to. It just feels disjointed. Like, again, I get he wants to split the Avengers up by making them fight each other, but that almost doesnst work if Tony's not there.
Yeah, my
thought
here is that there are some more efficient methods.
Let's also not forget the fact that Tony is not one who backs out from a fight.
Yeah. Now here's one thing. I think
split already.
Hi, Thunderbolt. Okay, so one of the things that I'd like to bring up is that I'm not opposed to the concept of Zemo putting together a plan that breaks up the Avengers and turns them against each other, but I think that there were more efficient ways for them to have accomplished that.
This at this point was the most opportune way he could have done it. He didn't.
No, I'm talking about from like a writing perspective and from a meta perspective.
But even no.
Again.
Now,
and even he's not as rich as Jesse Eisenberg, Lex Luthor.
Well, not at this point in time.
He doesn't have the unlimited. He doesn't have the near limitless resources that Lex Luthor has to literally manufacture everything.
Now, something that always bugged me when I rewatched this movie.
Yeah, let him finish. Alex,
thought,
let him
hang
finish.
on, let me finish. I thought that I saw Jessica Jones in this prison when I watched this movie originally. You know, it was just like a brief.
What did you not
just a
get that
brief...
that was Wanda?
No, the Wanda shot was a different shot. Like when I originally
No, it
saw
wasn't.
this, I thought that there was. I would have sworn that there was another shot where they saw where Jessica Jones was in there, and there was going to be something leading into that. But because she got arrested at the end of her season, but
And Tony had to, when Tony found out about the fact that the psychiatrist, that's why he went here, and then he had to get somebody to tell him, hey, where is he going?
You know what would have made this simpler from a writing perspective, and what I would have done for Zemo's motivation? Just have him go after Tony, not the Avengers, just Tony. Because
but why though? Not like he had any beef with them.
That would have been one too simple. Two, so the thing is that Zemo is a Captain America villain, not an Iron Man villain.
Yeah.
Well,
now,
okay, but when
but that's they don't care about adhering to the comics in that regard. Clearly,
that's what I was gonna say. When did they start giving
finish? For fuck's sake, guys.
Okay, calm down.
We're just trying to have a conversation.
Yeah,
and this conversation clearly has no room for me in it.
No, keep going.
God, Kevin,
dude, we're just trying to have a back and forth. That's it.
Just let him finish.
Anyway, as I was trying to say,
tone it down, Kevin.
As I was trying to say, hey, at this point, Zemo has like, he may have all of these. He only has like a limited amount of resources, and it's better to take down. It's better for him, at the very least, to have try to take down the Avengers by setting them up against each other rather than fighting one of them head on.
That I understand. I understand
at the end
that
of this movie,
like that makes
Zemo. That Zemo needed the Avengers to go against each other, and he saw that the Accords was likely the best opportunity he had.
Yeah, because let me go ahead and agree with you there for a second there, because I think that makes perfect sense. Him using the Avengers as a weapon against themselves and against everybody who he feels has wronged him. That's a thing that works out. You can use,
and he was plotting on self-terminating because he himself also felt responsible.
Yeah.
Wait,
what?
Like
a.
Oh yeah.
Have you?
I have seen this movie, but that part. It was locked subconsciously until you brought it up. It's like, how did he feel responsible? Like, I think I still.
Well, he said that they were okay. You know, you don't have.
He tried to tell himself
the Avengers
that
are
they
here.
were okay.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. That's why he feels partially responsible. So here his whole shtick was to take out everybody responsible, not just us Tony Stark.
Mildly,
if it were just Tony, then that would be a lot simpler.
Well, okay, but see, here's my thing.
Hey, the suit looks much better here than it did in the other one.
Well, yeah, because it's better lighting conditions.
Yeah.
But so see, here's my thing. Zemo is clearly, obviously, I'm not suggesting Zemo try and take on just Tony in a physical fight. Yeah, many have tried, many have failed. But playing psychological games to tear Tony apart from the inside would have also worked because
yeah, but here's the thing: that would not have been very difficult. Given
that also wouldn't have accomplished his goal, because his goal was to take down the whole Avengers, because his thought isn't just they allowed this to happen. It's also like they didn't do enough to stop it once they'd created the problem.
If you want further reference on as to where I would get my logic, look up the scene at the end of The Dark Knight and see how Harvey Dent goes after everybody and even tries to kill himself.
Yeah.
Everybody he feels responsible. and he even tries to kill himself.
Well,
Yeah,
very much. It's
yeah.
it's funny you say that and you mention The Dark Knight because again, this is a pro and a con. It feels like the Russo brothers are really trying to have a Heath Ledger style villain,
Yeah.
and they really and again, very much like The Dark Knight, it all relies on luck and on luck that everything turns out the way it does. That there just so happens to be contingencies for everything.
That gunshot doesn't line up with the hole in his head. That one does. Now, this is an interesting. I understand. I kind of understand his motivation where he says, "Is like, do you really think I wanted more of you?"
More of you.
But
and on top of that, they were also unstable super
Yeah.
soldiers, so even if he got them out, they would have tried.
yeah, they
to
wouldn't
kill
have
him.
listened. Yeah, they wouldn't have listened to him. But at the same time, I wonder what his plan was if the Avengers hadn't hadn't
The
splintered.
Accord.
Like, what if like my thought here is like because you could either have
Then
Cap.
yes, his plan. Then yes, his plan would not have worked.
Yeah, because it all relies. Because again, it's the
And
timing.
this is a nice little bit.
Yeah.
It is.
Imagine if Team
Yeah.
Iron Man hadn't showed
There's a
up
bit
here
of green
entirely.
in the blue of your eyes. That is meant to showcase that even though Captain America is a more
He
quote unquote
appears
whole
perfect, yeah.
man, he appears perfect, but in reality, there's part of him that's jealous because Zemo here, he's had an actual family and whatnot,
Yeah.
while Steve, he would never have had that.
Well, that's another retcon that I want to get into. It's like because Steve in Age of Ultron, Steve was battling that, but by the end of the movie, he comes to terms that okay, what he wanted.
Well, maybe
Well, the Avengers are his family, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So now him all
It's
of a sudden,
It's the same thing as Black Widow
yeah,
until her solo movie.
tell her solo movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the V8 hang on, and they have a flat screen monitor here meant for medical footage, but he's hooked up a VCR to it.
I'm sure there's a way.
I mean, there is a way. It's just very complicated.
Keep in mind, Jeremy Scott also criticized the supposed fact that at the road supposedly doesn't that there was supposedly not an intersection there in that road, but in reality, that was just obscured on purpose.
Yeah.
Also, too, one
that's
thing
just,
I don't like.
It's a matter of framing. It's just out of frame.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like about this scene, I like it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. But one thing I don't like is that, it's implied that Cap knew about this, but we don't know he knew about this.
Like that's
No. Here's the thing. No. Here's the thing. And like Steve knew that that Hydra had Bucky's parents assassinated, but he didn't know.
Sorry, Tony. Steve had Tony's parent. No, Buck. I'm sorry. I'm getting messed up here. Steve knows that Hydra had Tony's parents assassinated. There we go.
Yeah. Steve knows that Hydra had Tony's parents assassinated, but he didn't know that it was Bucky. But unfortunately, he had a hunch that it might have been him, since Bucky had also been contracted to assassinate John F. Kennedy in the MCU.
Hang on. Quick question: how did Hydra get a hold of this VHS tape?
Convenience, I guess, because the plot said so. It's the third act, and the plot says they got a hold of it.
And this is when, if I can say something here, or I didn't know. This is when I thought that the barf technology was going to come back into play.
That actually would have been a better,
because I thought, because they set up Zemo having the ability to look, disguise himself like other people. And then they very conspicuously have Bucky show his face to the camera. I thought that they were going to say, hey, that the footage, that footage wasn't real. He just put it together based on the mission report, I
think it was more to showcase what would be part of what would be potentially set up for later, or which is part of the whole thing with Tony's character.
Yeah, Tony and his, because that was it was a way to show his last the last moment he had with his parents before
because
before
he
they
didn't
died.
have any
I
regrets
think
and
so.
whatnot.
Here's how I would have redid this. I would have had the scene where Tony can't make out who is indeed the responsible for this. Like, he still sees the footage, but he can't make out who the hell that is. So he uses the barf technology to recreate the scene in his environment, and it's able to enhance and show that it was Bucky who did
And
it.
here we have, even though Tony is very much aware that Bucky didn't have control over his mind, even earlier calling him Manchurian Candidate. It's so. This is just proof that Tony does not care.
Yeah. Tony's a little bit unpredictable.
That's why I said he's predictable in his unpredictability.
I know.
Yeah.
Again, it's just there it is.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yep, there it is. I just yay! He's finally using the utility belt.
Yeah.
I wish he would use the utility belt more often, but
yeah, because I was gonna say, hey, Captain America is the Marvel version of Batman in a number of ways. They don't use that often enough.
No, they don't.
Right. That's actually a neat little thing. It's like his targeting, like all throughout this fight.
Yeah, because this is actually a really good explanation of who Tony is as a character, and that he's really skilled even without the suit.
Yeah, no, well, again, because this suit.
Oh yeah, that's also a neat little line.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Do you even remember them? I remember all of them."
This suit lets him predict fight and analyze and adapt to fight patterns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, one of the I'm not a big fan of the don't bullshit me, Rogers. But this,
no,
I've felt like here's one of the things that I just from a meta perspective, I felt like this entire sequence was put together just so that they could recreate that moment from the comic.
Cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Bucky using the shield.
There you go.
Time to jump him.
Oh, now
and
Tony Stark getting his ass kicked by a couple of geriatrics.
Yeah, I know. That's embarrassing. Ow.
I can think of more embarrassing things because come on, we've seen.
Yeah, like being in Black Widow.
Haha. Well, we've also seen Iron Man 2.
That was the core.
Well, we've seen Iron Man 3. That was worse.
No, Iron Man 2 was bad. I did not like it. I'm sorry.
Are you sure? Like,
oh, there goes Bucky's arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were cool moments in it. Oh shit, that's terrible.
By the way, Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier will retcon how he got that arm. Written and directed by Zack Snyder. Yeah.
And now
that's
now
the shot out of the
context. Listening to the voice message.
All right. Also, one little thing that we haven't been paying attention to, but now's a good time to bring up. How in the fuck did Black Panther... Again, it's very convenient that Black Panther...
Stark.
No, he was following... I was going to say, yeah, he followed Stark.
And now he's fine. And now he's just deleting the message.
Yeah. This is the last thing...
Now,
I would say...
that he does before he's about to attempt suicide.
I lived outside the city.
Here's
would be safe there. My son was excited. You could see the Iron Man from the car window. I told my wife, "Don't worry.
I want to hear it.
They're fighting in the city."
I want to actually hear him say it, Kevin. Can't hear him say it.
Yeah, and that's why he wants all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a dick move for them.
Yeah, Avengers, sponsored by Vought International.
They didn't even go and assist with the collateral damage.
And that's part of the reason I don't like this film.
Yeah, no, it's like even the fucking Justice League would fucking do that. They would fucking check and take care of the collateral shit.
Because I feel like that bit at the end right there, or it kind of assassinates the Avengers characters. Because I don't think they do. Especially considering all of the other things that they had to deal with. Oh, his ears are pierced. Huh.
Oh yeah. And then I
never
like this
noticed
moment
that.
for T'Challa. I love this moment for T'Challa. This was the best thing Chadwick ever did as the character. I'm sorry. Panther.
Oh yeah. By the way, with that model of pistol, he wouldn't have been able to actually fire that.
Yeah, that's
and, yeah, that was a because T'Challa had the slide gripped. You can't actuate the trigger in that position with that particular gun.
And also keep in mind, even if the bullet did try to come out, it would be immediately stopped.
Yeah, by the
out of the vibranium.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's just a special effects error, or because somebody
Even
in
with
the
that
CGI
Marvel
and
combo.
audio booth did that.
Yeah.
Stand down. Final warning.
So was I.
There's the line from the trailers. All of the
Yeah.
trailers.
all of them.
Oh,
It's
hang
still
on.
good line.
How did Bucky never sand that red star off of his shoulder?
All right, Kevin, let's do it. Stay down. Final warning. Come on,
Yep.
say it.
Say it a line.
Say the line, Steve.
I can do this all day. Yay! Oh, he's gonna bane his ass.
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
no.
hey, it looked like he was about to hit him with a pile driver.
Ow. Ow. Oh.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of people...
at the very least, unlike in the comics,
That
this
is
fight
really good
actually
blood.
had an end.
Thank God it had an
Whereas-
end.
Rather than it just stopping like it did in the comic, yeah.
Yeah.
Because all the civilians ganged up on Cap, saying, "Stop!
No, you guys
stop!"
can dunk on this movie all you want, but it's still better than the comic.
No,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh
It
yeah,
is better
no.
than the comic.
Cosmonaut Variety Hour can go suck a dick because he thinks that the comic is really good.
No, it's not. I'm sorry. It is not good. Like, I'm not even saying...
Marcus is already on my shit list for a number of reasons.
Well, his perspective on the Spider-Man films is kind of baffling.
Yeah, I know. And Doug Walker
Yes,
agrees
it
with
belongs
him, and
to you.
he's his biggest cheerleader
Yeah,
for that
deserve it.
because...
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
He's like,
All right,
Oh,
bye,
yeah.
Mom.
You're right.
By the way, this is the
Hey,
last
hope
time
the
we're going to
funeral
see
goes
those
well.
scratches on there.
Yeah, they're magically just going to be okay at the end.
Well, let's also
when
not
we-
forget. Well, let's also not forget that Tony likely repainted that.
Oh yeah, but
Problem.
that's still a scratch into the metal.
Yeah, it's not
'Cause
something
it's a
you can just
vibranium.
repaint.
Yeah, because those are vibranium claws. That's the only thing
I
that
know.
can destroy it. Which is like, it's the same reason
Continuity?
why the
What's
shield
that?
was destroyed later on an
And now we
Endgames, because that's what
Steve-O
Thanos'
over there.
sword was made of.
When next we'll see him, he'll be dancing at a bar,
He'll be the best part of that show. I'm just going to say it right now.
which is sad.
Mhm.
It is very sad.
You step out of line, you deal with Bilbo Baggins. He's gonna
You don't wanna
sting
fuck
your
Bilbo
ass.
Baggins.
Who agrees?
He didn't fail.
Yeah, I was gonna
He
say, this is a
definitely-
very
very
strange
cool.
line, Thaddeus, because he didn't
no.
fail. The
No,
only thing he
here's the
failed
thing,
at was
it's
killing
like-
himself.
No, Martin. No. What Everett Ross thought. was
Oh yeah,
that
he
it's
thought that he
like
was trying to.
kill the Avengers, but no.
Yeah.
Oh, he ultimately still divided them. So that unfortunately causes some problems when they get to Infinity War, and Tony's
Yeah.
not going to be all that willing to call Steve
I hope-
Rogers in.
Boy, I hope Rhodey's skin doesn't turn green after this,
I know,
Oh my
right? That would
God.
be terrible.
and we lose all of this awesome character development that he gets with regards to, fixing his legs and things like that.
Kevin Feige just needs to step down and
really does.
And my friends and I had this conversation last night by saying, so say if he does step down, you could potentially get somebody worse. It's like, can we though? We've pretty much hit the ship has had many leaks.
Because
we've worse than where it is now?
Because Phase 4, we've already hit X-Men 3 The Last Stand levels.
And we're now on Phase 5.
And technically, you know what? Love and Thunder was worse than X-Men 3.
No.
No?
No, he's right.
Yeah, he is right.
Alex is right. Alex is completely right about that. Love and Thunder is worse than X-Men 3 could ever be.
Motherfuckers deleted all of Christian Bale's footage because it came off as rated R, you fucking bastards.
Cowards.
Oh.
I stand.
Dang. This is why I miss Stan.
There was not really a lot of jokey dialogue in this movie. And that line just like,
you know, this is the only time I've ever seen FedEx announce themselves. Usually when they deliver a package to me, it's with one of their ninjas who doesn't even knock on my door.
I wish Stanley was my FedEx deliverer.
And we actually get an explanation as to why Steve Rogers didn't really tell Tony about his suspicions and whatnot.
By the way, this is apparently taking place a week later
after Black Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
so anyway,
though
continue.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
As I was saying,
go ahead.
Steve felt that he was supposedly absolving. He was absolving himself from any form of guilt by not telling Tony, but in reality, he was just
protecting himself. I understand that as a concept. That's not a bad concept.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I mean, it's understandable.
But yeah, it's like Steve left behind in a heavily outdated flip phone.
Oh yeah, it's a burner phone.
Yeah, so all right, here's the thing. Maybe this is just my OCD, but why would you put an envelope and a burner flip phone in a big package like that?
Yeah, I would have rather I would have wrapped it up with bubble wrap.
And then
anybody would. Anybody would have put Ross on hold.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Nobody likes you, Thunderbolt. Go away.
Yeah.
So apparently, according to Black Widow, Steve Rogers waited until she got done with her bullshit before going to rescue the other Avengers, which makes no goddamn sense.
No, it doesn't.
And here's the thing. That movie, the entire
future movie
the time scale of that film. Yeah, see, the time scale of that film doesn't match up with this at all because the amount of time it would have taken for the package to get from where Yelena mailed it to where from where Yelena was to where she mailed it back to where Natasha was takes more than a week, and then this is supposedly like taken and like this had to only be a couple of days at most.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I do want to, when we get to that, that's going to be...
Anyway,
you could have said it after this. It would have made
I still really like this movie despite its flaws. And I give it like a 9 out of 10.
I would give it...
I would give it... this is still one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Okay, so out of Phase 3, I will say this. Is this my favorite Captain America?
Taking a stand.
No, not really. It's not my favorite Captain. I'm still nostalgically biased towards First Avenger.
First Avenger is the best one. Oh, Agent 13. Yeah. First May doesn't get an outline.
Yeah, Tom Holland. But I will say
Frank Grillo gets crossbones because he's dead. Martin Freeman should have gotten one ring.
I know. I do like this movie.
There's Daniel Bruhl's mask that he never fucking wore in the movie.
Wait. Here we go. Mid-credit scene. Nope. Civil War. Mid-credit scene.
We just skip to the post-credit scene after this?
No.
Sure. Oh.
Yeah.
Because we need some time to talk about it. But here, So Wakanda looks completely different than it will in the later movie.
They don't. There's no continuity. They don't care.
Even though they allegedly, even though the Russos were in, they talked to Ryan Coogler and the set designers about making sure that the sets matched up, and then they just threw all the sets away when they made Black Panther.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, by the way, hey, I remember speaking of Black Panther, the Wakandans were all supposed to speak like a British accented English originally, but then they went with an African accent, which is fine, but they should have just gone with this accent, the one that T'Chaka spoke with.
Also, keep in mind T'Challa is faking. Chadwick is faking his accent for T'Challa. He normally had a very American accent,
but he is very good at that. Other people in Black Panther will not be as good as him. They all went to different dialect coaches because they didn't give a shit.
Which, by the way, keep in mind, someone on Jimmy Kimmel's mean tweet 8 segment said, like, why did the coolest, blackest dude in the galaxy have a white bread ass name like Chadwick? I'm like, because he's American.
He's American, yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So what?
Yeah, go ahead, Bender.
Yeah. No. So I'm with Kevin. I still nostalgically, I have a bias for this movie, just like the others. And while yes, I know a lot of people have said, "Oh, but it's not a Captain America movie; it's an Avengers 3.5 movie." And yes, you are 2.5 movie. And yes, you're right. It is a pseudo Avengers movie that just has Captain America at the forefront, but it doesn't abandon Captain as the protagonist, and it doesn't shy away showing
because we do
follow
him
his mind.
quite significantly. Oh yeah, Anne Russo, the wife of one of the Russo brothers, who's voiced Zemo's wife, by the way.
Oh, nice. But
and one of the other Russo brothers was in here as somebody who died.
Oh, okay. But I will say this: I have flaws with this movie, like everyone else, especially where Phase 4 ultimately takes it, which now makes this movie outdated and out of the new continuity. But I do think that Captain America has a perfect trilogy, and because each movie just gets better and better, and Chris Evans continues to show that, wow, in an alternate universe, he would have been a great Superman because he's really convincing as Captain America.
Yeah.
Like every time I read the comics, or every time I just imagine what Captain America should be, I do kind of think of Chris Evans. But I do gotta agree with what Alex said. I do hate I do hate how this movie kind of assassinates the Avengers character, because now they're just kind of assholes who just let this shit happen, and I don't like that. I really feel like the Avengers as a team in this universe, they were never all that good when they were.
If I could interject here just real quick, that makes Zemo seem a lot like a Billy Butcher to me.
Yeah, like it really, it is. It feels like the Avengers are the 7, and Zemo is Butcher. You're right. So I don't disagree with why Zemo did what he did, but I just feel like, okay, I really would have liked it if the third act would have had the plan not rely on luck and chance, that Tony would have just happened to coincidentally come on. Because then the whole plan, the movie does fall apart if you dive deep into it with certain things about Zemo. But I will say, regardless of all that, it's a great fucking movie, and it shows that, man, the first 3 phases really were great. They had their downs, but they could have their ups.
Yeah.
And this movie I do not regret watching this movie in theaters, and it was one of my favorite Phase 3 movies.
I see.
So
I guess I might as well get my thoughts in before I get that out real quick.
Go ahead, Sonic.
So yeah, I'm gonna say this right now. This is probably one of my favorite Marvel movies in like my top 5. Despite the problems you guys list, which there can be some valid parts, but then at the same time, though, as Kevin would say, these problems do make sense in context. I mean, and yes, while I will admit, yes, Spider-Man was a bit shoehorned, and he was still great what it has he was. So you know what, I can forgive it, give him them for that. And
This is
Black Panther, and for Black Panther's introduction, yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, yeah, sure, I wish he had the movie, but you know what, for his introduction, it was pretty all right. Which, and yes,
Sadly, I don't know if we're going to be able to say the same thing about his first solo movie.
this is an
eh.
odd song to end
But
the
anyway,
film on.
yeah,
Peter
this
Parker
is
was
probably one of my
listening to it.
favorite Marvel movies, despite the flaws. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna head out. New One
Okay.
Piece episode.
All right.
And I
Colt,
promise
single
Jay,
action
I promise
army.
Jay,
Who is? Are we talking
and I-
about
and I promise-
Revolver
and I
Ocelot
promise
here?
Jay, and I promise Jay Javon I would watch it with him. Hope see ya.
Okay.
Have a good
Alright.
night, everybody.
Hey, see you, Sonic.
All right.
So I'm very clearly in the minority here in that I think this film is a 2 out of 10. Partially because my prediction for this was that it was either going to have consequences that I didn't like, or the consequences weren't going to carry over into future movies in any significant way.
They did carry over.
And no, because
If
it's like I watched.
If the Avengers were not splintered by the events of this movie, then Thanos would not have won.
You can write it so that they wind up having, they have their own stuff that they're doing, and they could be off doing something else, and this, that, and the other. You can write it so that this film isn't necessary. You could go
in this instance. They could, but in this instance, yes, they are splintered.
Well, no. I understand, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is that I knew that the events of this movie weren't really going to
Soundtrack is available on Marvel Music, Hollywood Records.
Yeah, Hollywood Records doesn't release nearly as many soundtracks as I'd like, because you still can't get the Multiverse of Madness score on CD, except as a bootleg. Anyways,
what was that bootleg copy of this movie? Hey, Alex?
What I was gonna say is that as somebody who was a religious watcher of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Netflix shows and all that, and, having full hindsight in,
keep in mind that
in the rearview mirror here.
Keep in mind up until they decided to make the Netflix stuff, until they decided to make the TV stuff canon. They didn't have.
Yeah, this is a greater criticism of the MCU. This is not directly about Civil War. This is all about how the MCU handles its continuity, because the Netflix shows very clearly treated the movies as their canon. That we are part of this universe. We are here. Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was having back and forths between Agent Carter, between Thor, between this, that, and the other thing. It was treated at the time like this was canon, and now they say, yeah, this is canon, but like,
would you look at that? The spider.
Oh,
signal.
Here's the spider signal. I
remember that's not gonna come back.
Yeah,
Spider-Man
that
will
will
return.
Yeah, that used to be emitted by Spider-Man's belt, by the way, and now it's that, and we'll never see that again. And anyways, so I predicted that the effects of the Sokovia Accords would not be seen largely in the greater Marvel universe, and unfortunately, I was correct, because the consequences of this film are like drastic and far-reaching. I'm just gonna go ahead and put up the image again. The consequences of this film should be drastic and far-reaching, but much like the comic it was based on, I don't think they were entirely prepared to execute the consequences of this film, because I don't think the Sokovia Accords were ever brought up in regards to, the Defenders shows.
They were not, no.
No, and, Spider-Man lives in New York City. That's his hometown. He swings all over the place, and yet there's an evil ninja clan trying to destroy his hometown, and he never shows up there. And this is just a greater. This is not a criticism. I'm not putting this on Civil War. Civil War has nothing to do with this. This is a world-building problem with the MCU. And then, do you want to know what the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guys were off doing while the Avengers were hitting each other in a parking lot?
Let me guess.
Yeah.
They were firing in the desert.
So the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. guys were attempting to save the world from the Serpent Society. There was a world-ending thing. Now, this is a problem with how you handle TV shows. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had a whole ass conspiracy to deal with that was gonna be like alien snakes that secretly founded Hydra before the Nazis even existed. Yeah, good fucking luck with that, guys. That wound up coming back into the MCU later on, this nonsensical secret organization bullshit. It was especially problematic in Phase 4. But, like, those guys operate with fucking impunity, essentially. They didn't have to follow... They mention the Sokovia Accords. They show footage from this movie in that, and it just never comes up. Like, and I'd also like to see what the idea is if they wanted to try and take down, say, Doctor Strange. Because I don't think Ross is prepared to take on Doctor Strange. I don't think that even Vision would be able to take on Doctor Strange entirely and succeed, you know?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
And as the MCU has gone on, they've ignored the Sokovia Accords more and more and more, up until the point where they were just flat out repealed in She-Hulk. There's no point in time where they explain the Sokovia Accords have been appealed at this date. This is why they were repealed. This. I'm just there, and then in Thor Ragnarok, they never bring up the Accords with regards to the shit that Thor and Loki and Doctor Strange do. The Accords never come up in Doctor Strange. The Accords don't come up in Black Panther. Black Panther breaks so many fucking laws in his movie, it's not even funny.
Oh no, I'm gonna put a pin in that. When we get to Black Panther, I'm putting a pin in that, and then
Well, anyway,
both,
we will
like
see
him
you
and the Dora
guys.
Milaje. Yeah, we should wrap this up.
We
But
will see you
I just want to
guys next week for the next James Bond movie. Tomorrow for Samurai Jack, and 2 weeks from now, the strangest doctor known to man.
Yeah,
as played by Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Which one? The one that actually had a good TV show. Which TV show?
Did you not like
More recent.
Did you not like Elementary? The one with Johnny Lee Miller?
Anyway, I think we should end the stream now.
I know that question's completely off topic. I was like, didn't you?
We should kill the stream now. Kill it right now. Shoot it with a shotgun. Come on, do it. Do it or no balls.
I mean, we can. I was just interested in knowing the answer to that. Bye, everybody. You can find us at the usual location. Bender, do you want to promote anything before we leave?
No, I got nothing.
All right.